YOOO chap stream lay GOOO. Ahoy. Krista 172 smile. What's up gamers? How's the weekend been?
What's up gamers? Is that what that just said? What's up gamers? What's up gamers? My fellow gamers. Oh wait, I'm not here yet. I'm not here yet. Don't worry about me.
Gamers.
Wait, I think I just did a critical mistake. I told it to start ads, but I did it before the auto start of ads was supposed to start, which means the ads will play and then like a minute or two later it will say ads are about to start. It'll do it twice. God damn it. I should just end the stream right here. End it all.
I'm learning COBOL currently. It's going slowly but fine, got a basic thing compiled and able to build.
Oh damn, COBOL. I don't think I've ever looked at COBOL before, but I've definitely heard about it.
Just means twice as many ad revenues.
I don't know if that's what that means, but you know, it depends on what the Twitch gods decide to give me, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward and although verbose, very human readable with genuinely zero prior programming understanding.
Understanding? Well, that's standing. I think I meant to say stand dandy, and I said danding again. I don't listen. We don't. The TTS it has funny ways to pronounce things, and so do I. Okay, it's rubbing off on me. I have a basic idea of what we're going to be doing today. I think I also want to set up. I'll get into more detail when the ads are all done.
I was half typing and I mess up typing as I went back to add something, as I do, Satch.
I do that all the time, actually. I do this thing where, because I don't have spell check on any of my apps because I don't want it to be like I make mistakes and I get used to the fact that I'm making constant typos. So I don't have spell check on or autocorrect on anything, and I just learn over time through like, oh, I fucked that up, I fucked that up, I fucked that up, I need to not fuck that up. And I do this thing where I'll type something and it'll be like, oh, but do I want it to word this bit of the segment this way? So I go back and I change the middle of it, and then I don't do enough like editor passes of like my quick message to somebody, and so it'll sound weird, like I'm repeating the meaning of something twice in the middle of a phrase I'm trying to say in the middle of it because I'm trying to listen to this whole thing. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I'll end up redundantly wording things too like that.
It
Krista
happens.
172 TNT.
It happens so much. Okay, wait, are the ads? Okay, so the ads are done now. Supposedly the ads are done from me forcing it to start. But now I'm concerned that it's going to auto start an ad. Because it's supposed to auto start an ad at the beginning of the stream. But I think from my past experience, if you try to auto force it too early, then it will force ads to run immediately afterwards.
I'm subscribed.
That's true. You are subscribed, so you don't have to deal with that stuff. And if you are subscribed, or if you're a Twitch Turbo person, either way, you don't gotta watch ads, and you help me out. So, you know. Your Twitch Turbo is actually
this MF
like...
said Sill issue.
Sill issue, true. Get his ass. Get his ass, Karen. How's it going, Karen? Hello, everybody. Hopefully, it does not do the auto playing
really
of more ads meme.
This is really transphobic of you, Karen.
That's fucked up. Fucked up. Okay. Let me... Okay. Another thing while we wait to confirm whether or not ads are about to autoplay again, because I'm still worried that they will. But if they don't after a couple minutes, then we will officially start, okay? Yeah, I had a thing. I have this printer here. I went to go print tax stuff, right? I have this thing where my printer, if I don't use it for a while, it still has plenty of ink, but it just doesn't print right anymore. It's got plenty of ink, but when I print it, all the lines are fucked, and I don't know why. And it, like... It's just I don't use it for a couple months, and then even though it has like plenty of ink,
printers are so dumb.
More than enough ink.
172 TNT.
Yeah, more than enough ink in the world.
Probably an issue with how the ink transfers to the belts.
Like I'm not even like doing. I don't use it for months, and then it'll fuck up, and I'm like, okay, let me just fully replace the ink. But like it's got plenty of it. I've like printed like 3 things ever with that set of ink, and then it got all fucked up, and I don't know why. And the only way to fix it was to replace it with new ink. I tried doing different things. I tried being like, let me just take them out, put them back in. Maybe I try this function on this printer that says it's gonna clean this thing or whatever. None of it worked, so I just had to replace the ink, which is what the big printer wants from us. Okay, big HP.
What brand of printer?
It's an HP. I need to get a new one. I think this is just like an old ass printer that's just dying on me. Printer.
Oh, that'll do it.
It is an HP Envy 4500 series. That's what I have
that's
here.
Your problem. Go with brother next time.
Go with brother? Okay. I've only ever had like this printer and then a printer before this one before, because I don't print many things. But times like now where tax stuff...
Brother is the GOAT unless you try to print an invalid file.
Okay. So brother printers, I will take a note. I'll put it in our today's daily note here on Obsidian. Buy a
Just
new
get a 3D printer. The only one you'll need ever.
Okay, confirm this for me, because I don't know shit about printers. Inkjet versus laser.
I am looking at getting an Epson EcoTank printer.
Inkjet versus laser.
We hate HP in this household. They're quite possibly one of the worst companies you can interact with in normal life.
Oh, damn. I mean, from the very little experience I have with them, yeah, I can agree. God. All right, I'm going to assume ads will not play anymore, so I think we're good to go.
HP is the EA of hardware.
HP's the EA? Oh my god. Let me get this going here. Hello gamers. Hi. Oh my god. One day I will stop being lazy and I will update the photo of this room to what it currently is at.
I'm pretty sure laser is just more like.
And then another day I will commission someone to do a background of this.
Laser heat is used to transfer the ink. Laser is generally more reliable IRC.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't remember the difference.
I think I just want whatever is, 1, going to be reliable, and 2, if I don't use this thing for a while, I still won't have to rebuy new shit. I don't know.
Do laser.
Do laser? Okay. I will consider it. So in my head, the main benefit to inkjet over laser is for like if I'm printing photographs. In my head, that's where it's the benefit
inkjet
is.
Options were still like manufactured.
I don't keep up with the history of printers and what's in or not. I just remember we had some inkjet printers when I was in high school. And I remember, I've told you guys the stories before about high school. I used to work for my high school. So instead of going in for classes every other week, I would go into work for the school, for the IT department. And a lot of the job was just, we get calls from departments, the different shops, where they're like, hey, our printer's fucked. And I go down there and it's just unplug the printer, plug it back in. And then it's usually, that's usually all I had to do. I had one time, and I think I've told the story before, but for those of you who haven't heard it, I had one time, I get called down. I went to a vocational high school. So that means we had like, you know, all these different shop classes. And one of the shops is the cosmetology shop. Cosmetology? The hairdressing shop, okay? The hairdressing shop. I got called down there. And they
It's really silly when power cycling truly does fix things.
Right? So I get called down there. And they're like, hey, we got a new printer.
What hair?
We got a new printer. We got a new printer. And we got the new printer because the old one stopped working. But we got a new printer, and now the new printer's not working. Can you come down here and set it up? Because we don't know if maybe we just set it up wrong. So I'm like, okay. So I go down there. And I go to check. Okay, first things first. Let me press the power button, see if it turns on. It does not turn on. All right. Good first step. Now I check. Is there a plug plugged in the back? Yes. Okay. Where is that plugged into? It's plugged into a power strip. Where's the power strip plugged into? It is plugged into itself. Itself. This was why their last printer was not working.
No way you ran into real people like that.
This is why their last printer was not working, and then they bought a new printer. This took me all of like 1 minute to discover. And I was just like, all right, let me just plug this into the wall and then make it look like I'm like doing other things to set it up so they don't feel like complete idiots over it. Because like, what happened with that? I don't even... I'm like, yeah, it's all set. It's all set. It's all fixed.
That's very kind of you.
It's all
Monkey
fixed.
15
It's all fixed.
Ineptocracy be wild.
One other things we had this one project there where we had a whole shipment of like iPads that were sent to the school. I forget how they were sent, but we got the shipment of iPads. It was supposed to work for the library. These were all supposed to be set for the library. They didn't have anybody who knew or cared enough to spend the time to set these fucking things up. So we just had like tons and tons of iPads just sitting around collecting dust, doing nothing. And they gave the job to me to set them up. And it was annoying to work with because there were like restrictions to connecting devices to the Wi-Fi there in very weird, various ways. I think eventually I got it to work, but I had to do like some weird Apple iPad formatting of things in a way to image them all in this specific security level way to work through our system or some shit. I don't even remember.
Same thing at the makerspace.
It was dumb though.
Not with iPads, but Wi-Fi shit, and then also the iCloud password for everything.
It was like I had to spend like time going through each of them, making sure that they all worked, and got through the weird network security shit for each individual thing. And it was a whole thing. I got to work eventually. And I'm pretty sure nobody used it after I set it up. I'm pretty sure they still didn't use it. Because, honestly, I don't know many people that actually use that fucking library at that high school. It was there, and people would use it for, like, after-school, like, tutoring stuff. For, like, exams coming up through, like, some programs with the high school. But I don't think anybody actually, like, checked out the books or the devices that you could use in there. Or, like, printers. I don't think anybody used those there. I'm pretty sure I was the only one that ever took out a book there.
The makerspace I work at is inside a library. It's honestly a crazy setup.
I think, like, what was my setup in there? Oh, yeah. They didn't have an actual space for me in the IT room. So they just had me, like...
whack, because it should be easy to set up a thing for generating temporary passwords on the fly in modern router firmware, no?
Jesus.
Someone on r/laser cutting is getting onto me for the fact our laser cutters are in a carpeted room, and I'm just like, hey man, I didn't make these choices.
That was you. Andy, why would you make these choices like this? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? One thing that I'm now realizing, it didn't actually click to me while I had the job. I never had an actual office there. Because they didn't have the room.
It was my decision. Get stuffed r/laser cutting.
They
Dude,
didn't...
not only that, but when the Amker space was being designed and renovated,
This is the flaw of
my
TTS.
boss told the people building them to put in not carpet floor, and they didn't listen.
Oh my god. Can't believe you made these choices yourself, Andy. How could you? How could you? How could you do this, Andy?
I'm killing you with my mind.
I believe you. I believe you. Listen, I didn't have an actual office when I worked for that high school because they didn't have the space in the IT room. So I think they just, like, because they kept assigning me stuff to work on that was associated with the library, I just basically lived in like a closet of one of the side rooms of the library to work on the tech stuff that was all shoved into there. It was very it was very like, okay, I gotta have this computer process this thing and process this image install, and then I just have my laptop and just work on stuff. I was just like shoved in a library closet. Okay, let me make sure we actually get some coding things at least started today, okay? Let me make sure we get things started. Let me put my Sudoku away. I was messing around with some Sudoku earlier. Let me throw away this. Oh, that reminds me, I have to order either potentially more ink in the future in case I have weird shit with my ink again, or a new printer. I don't know, either way. Okay. Now, let me make sure. Oh my god, wait, hold on. I have my reps. We have to do our reps real quick, and then we can do the programming memes. Oh, what's the other thing, too? Have I streamed last time since I told you guys? I got a 20 terabyte fucking external hard drive that is currently plugged in, and I'm trying to back up some shit onto it. 20 terabytes. It's a big boy. It requires an additional power plug for it to even be alive. And it moves, okay? This shit shakes my table sometimes. I don't know if I like that,
Still
but
wouldn't be enough for me.
Is big. Is a chonky boy. Okay, where the fuck are my scene changing things? Oh wait, I have the buttons on the Steam Deck. I can do that. Let's go to this view. Is it here? Okay. Wait. Talk to me. Where's the desktop?
That's wild. I am looking at trying to figure a reasonable M.2 NAS project, but I keep putting it off.
I've been considering a NAS for so long. I wasn't able to even really reliably consider it before because I did not have a modem down here that I could directly Ethernet into. I didn't have a way to directly Ethernet into things before until like a few months ago last year. Because our modem was upstairs, so I had a Wi-Fi in all the time for everything.
WD Blue 1 TB drives are roughly $60 at Walmart.
Oh shit.
That's wild.
But now we upgraded the modem, and then I moved the new modem down here, and we got it to work. So now it's working. I could directly Ethernet in, which means now I could reliably get a NAS and directly plug it into that as well, and then we'd be good. So I am considering it. I've not decided to yet, because shit's expensive for that. I don't know. Where's my desktop view? Show my desktop. There you go. Let me do my reps real quick. I have like 12 of them to do. And then we can begin. Was this master? Okay. Chuko, is this used or ancient? Used. Okay, good. Amount, no, sold out. Fuck, it is amount sold. God, you know, fuck me. Okay, to raise. Flavor. Okay. Oh, this is also flavor, but this is the different reading. So, dateru? Yes, okay. No. Yes, okay. Easy. No, that one's not right. Chuko. Spirit? No, is this energy? Yes. Profit. Shu. Kanjo. sound. Okay. Aji. Amount sold. Not sold out. Club? Bu? Uri. Age. Utsusu. To reflect or to be reflected? It's to reflect. Okay. All right. We're done with that till 5 o'clock. So we have 17 minutes before we got to do more. All right. Cool. Okay. Wait, why do I have... Oh, I was doing the shrimp things. We're doing the Tukey shrimp runs. You don't have to worry about that, okay? If you don't know, you don't know. Okay, don't worry about that. Don't worry about Tukey. All right. The plan today is to build an API. And that's the plan today. That's the plan today. The plan today is to build an API. Now, in order to build the API, what do we mean by building an API here? For what kind of API are we building? What's the point of it? The main thing that we're trying to accomplish here today is, for those of you who've been around for my past streams where I've discussed it before, we have a script called my anitransfer script, which is very much a mess, and I'm trying to clean it up, but I've also been adding a bunch of new features to it, but it's all over the place right now. It's a whole thing. Listen, I'm not going to go into the full story, because I will lose my mind if I have to explain the full story of this again. I will just briefly explain it. We have a situation where the website known as My Anime List is a piece of shit website that nobody likes or enjoys. We've moved on to better worlds, better worlds. Okay, beyond My Anime List. What the fuck? I just tried to type My Anime. It's My N, and I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay, we moved on beyond this shit. Okay, My Anime List is whack. However, at some point in the past, no, not anime music. We're not playing anime music quiz right now. Anime Planet. At some point in the past, I had some friends of mine who I had transitioned over to AniList, and I wanted to play anime music quiz with some of my friends. And they had all had Anime Planet accounts, which didn't work for any anime music quiz at the time. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't, but I was like, well, why don't we just move you guys over to AniList? And some of them were like, oh, I don't want to do it. I got too many records. It's going to take too much work. So I made a script that basically takes an Anime Planet export and converts it into a list that can use to import into AniList. And I still get people who... I posted about it online after I made it, and then I still get people to this day who reach out to me about it. They still reach out to me about this and ask for me to help them set it up for their list, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind doing it, but I want to make the process a lot easier, not just for me, but for future people who need to use this script. And so, because right now it's just like a Python thing that I built that I think has a poetry environment set up for all of its stuff that it needs to run. And so we want to change this so that the average person does not need to actually know coding or do anything about coding in order to use this thing. And so the way that we're going to do this, and perhaps this is not the way that I should do it, but this is the way that we're working through in my head, is we're going to develop an API that will process... we're going to do two things in general. I don't know if we'll accomplish both today, but we'll at least set up the API today, I think. So we got two things we want to accomplish. The first... things to accomplish, okay? The first is a backend API to process any transfer requests. Okay, that's the first thing. So any transfer requests to convert their Anime Planet's exports into AniList imports, that'll run through the API. And that's the main thing that we want to have process. And there's a couple different bits to it. It's not just having it run the script. It has to run the script and then also give certain responses and have you send back things or whatever. It's like a whole thing that I'll have to work through the details of how to set up to work it properly. But it's not just just have it run the command, and then it's a little more involved, I think. But we'll go over that. It also depends on the level of how much they need to do additional confirmation for. So I'm not sure. Now, so the first thing is, yes, we want the backend API to process any transfer requests. The other thing is a front end to submit and allow manual confirmation. So I will very briefly explain the general gist of how the script currently works, which I don't think will take that long. The general process of how this works right now, if I could switch over into it. CD, Python, this should be anitransfer. Okay. The general gist of what happens with this is when you run it and you point it to... Where's my README? Here's some like example runs of it. You do poetry run python anitransfer.py, you point it to a list, and then you can give it additional options. I think I wrote out here, this is the typical process I run to like confirm people's things. And there's a series of steps that are involved with it. The way this works is complicated because of various factors regarding the different states of how Anime Planet exports are and AniList imports have to be. For those of you who don't know, AniList, the only way you can import to AniList right now is with a MyAnimeList export. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about Wolfborg. We're starting from Anime Planet. Where do we go from there? Well, that means the only way to get it to work is you're converting an Anime Planet export to a MyAnimeList import, which you can then use to import to AniList. In theory, it also means you can import to MyAnimeList, which I tell people you technically can. So I guess you can, but I would not recommend it personally. But that's your choice. You're allowed to do it. It will work either way because that's the only way you can import to AniList right now. I don't know why that's the case, but that's the case. So, and now the complicating thing with that is you know that it has to be a MyAnimeList export, not just because of the formatting of it, but because it is dependent on all of the MyAnimeList ID numbers. All of the MyAnimeList ID numbers are important towards this. So I have here to make the process faster, like a cache of existing mappings that we've confirmed. So you'll have the Anime Planet title, and then you'll have the MyAnimeList ID number. We have to store these values, find these matches, and then we use that to convert that entry. We'll take all the existing data that we have for the Anime Planet entry, and then we convert that over. Let me show you real quickly an example of right here. We'll say, oh God, I need to clean out some of the older ones into this folder. I don't remember the name of the current person I'm trying to process. There's somebody who sent me like a very, very fucking long list that I still have to process. It might be this guy. Oh no, wait, I think it did Turpco. It might be this guy. So essentially they look like this. I'm sorry, wait, this is a manga list. Let me go to... Do I have an anime list that's formatted? Here we go. They look like this. You'll have the list of the user, the name of them, the export data of like when the export happened, what type of list it is, and then you have entries. And then each of the entries, all you're given to identify it is the name. Just a name. There's no ID involved with it. And also along with this, there is no API for Anime Planet at all. I know this because they had announced it years ago that they would work on it, and then they didn't, because their programmers are primarily volunteer people that will occasionally help out the main person who runs it, and they care about other things more so right now, so they're not worried about it. I think I had tried to reach out to them at some point to say, hey, would you like some volunteer work trying to set up an API for Anime Planet? And I've not heard back. I don't know if it's because they don't care to have people work on it, or if they don't check the mailbox that I sent that request to, or if they don't want me specifically to work on it because
maybe
they know...
a legal thing?
I mean, maybe... No, it's not a legal thing for why they don't have an API. They don't have an API because specifically they do not have somebody who has the time to work on it right now, I believe. From what I had seen online on their forums and then what I saw in their Discord, it's just not a thing that they've launched, not because of a legal issue, but because they don't really have anybody to work out a thing. It sounded like they had it mostly set up and that there was something with some like authentication process that they did not get fixed, and they did not the person who had developed it had fucked off to somewhere else. So they're like, all right, we'll just leave this. And they've just not had somebody else look at it because everybody else is focused on other things. So I don't know if they didn't want me to help out specifically because maybe they've seen my script around or seen me tweet about this script and my work on it, and they don't like the fact that I am working on a script that will take people off of the website. Don't know if that's a good reason to want to turn down somebody who wants to build an API for you. I don't have a problem with Anime Planet itself. I personally don't really use it myself just because I prefer AniList. I don't have a problem with Anime Planet, though. I do wish they had an API or better categorizations of the data on their pages, because I have various issues that have made this script trickier to implement. But that's fine. That's whatever. Again, I don't have a problem with Anime Planet. But if the reason they're not contacting me is because, you know, they don't want me to even look at their API code stuff or their backend stuff because they know I'm working on a script that will essentially move some people off of their platform, you know, that's fair. If they don't like that, that's fair. That is very fair. I would not blame them if that is the reason. So
I see. I meant more on accepting volunteer help legally speaking as opposed to being a paid contract. TBH, no idea one way or another.
Yeah, from what I understand, I think they have like one main person who like runs the site, and then everybody else is like a volunteer person there. I don't know if they actually pay anybody there, but I also don't know that much about the back end of Anime Planet. Like I said, again, I don't have a problem with Anime Planet. I don't look into how they run their stuff. I'm not that concerned about Anime Planet as a platform. I don't hate it. I just don't use it. I don't have anything against it. I just prefer AniList. It's just very simple. It's very clean. It's got a nice API that everybody can use. It's very cool. It's very cool. So, unfortunately, the AniList API does not matter at all here. The AniList API matters like 0% here because, like I said, we have to convert this list into a MyAnime list, which will look like, where's the convert file? It'll look like this. Each entry, it's like an XML thing. So like, Anime Planet will give you a JSON file, and you convert it into a XML file. Now, the series title, you don't have to get exact on the anime, MyAnime list import. You can copy it over to there, but that's not as important for them. What's more important for them is this, the AnimeDB ID, which I think at first when I worked on this, I thought AnimeDB ID, there is a website called AnimeDB. So I thought it was just like piggybacking off of that website's API thing, but somebody replied to my thread talking about that on Twitter, who I guess was a data mod for AniList. Just casually drop by that and be like, oh no, those are actually just MyAnimeList IDs. That's not AnimeDB. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks. So I guess some of the, you know, AniList devs have noticed my script and they do appreciate the fact that my script exists. Now,
Neat.
back in the day,
72 noted.
Back in the day when I worked on this originally, I forget how old this is now. Oh wait, hold on. I probably should not immediately open my GitHub thing without knowing what's gonna be the last project that shows up. I don't want like work stuff to show up there. Yeah, it did. Okay. Not that it would matter because you wouldn't see any code, but I just don't want to like expose any of my like work projects. Here. Let me switch over to the anitransfer repo. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no worries.
Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Let's see when I last worked on, or when's the original date I worked on this. 4 years ago. Jesus Christ. Oh, and this is when I like pushed it up to a repo. I think I worked on it for like a couple months prior to. Oh yeah, 5 years. 5 years. 2020. I think this is like right before I got my current job. And it was at a time where I'm like, oh no, how am I going to find a new job during COVID? I'm fucked. And then I started working on a bunch of projects, and these projects impressed the people that I ended up getting hired by. So it was nice. So, okay. This, when I first worked on it, we had the problem of, okay, I need to associate an Anime Planet titles with a My Anime List number. However, at this time, there was no My Anime List API you could use. Because at some point, years and years ago, My Anime List got in trouble for, what was it, G something, GDPR? What the fuck was it called? What's the acronym? For, like, data.
GDPR.
Yeah, GDPR. So it was GDPR. They got in trouble for that, and so, however they had their API set up, they had to shut it down for a while. And I think My Anime List was also going through transfers of, like, who was going to own them at that point. I think there was something like that, too. And so that started to be less of a priority to them for what to work on next. And I think it took us many years for them to actually fix their API. I think it was one of the reasons why my video for why I left My Anime List was their API being a piece of shit and dying. That was one of the reasons I listed. Not a huge reason, but it was a reason for me, I guess. So, I still get people annoyed by some of the points I made in that video because they're like, I just use it to track anime. Okay, well then obviously this video is not for you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, these are reasons why I quit My Anime List, for reasons that I don't like, and I like these places instead. You could fucking use what you want, okay? Like, I'm not gonna shame people for still using My Anime List, okay? I just am really sad that My Anime List is like the biggest anime database that we have here in the West, and it is a ugly piece of shit that barely functions.
I have not considered looking for alternatives.
And has issues that to me might be, I mean, to other people might be minor, but to me are like annoying for somebody who actually gives a shit about his data, I guess. I don't know. And the user experience. I mean, the biggest thing for me was just My Anime List always felt like it was stuck in MySpace 2007 memes. Or not, did I say MySpace? My Anime List. And again, the reason why I say that is because My Anime List is, the reason why it's named that way is because it was based on MySpace. The guy who made it thought my something would just become a trend because MySpace did it. So they were like, let's just name it My Anime List. And then it did not become a trend. And then the site didn't really look too much different for a long time. It was, listen, I'm not going to hash into all my issues with My Anime List right now. All I know is they did not have an API for a while. And so I had to set up my thing at first, and it still works to do it, through something called the Gcon API, which is an unofficial My Anime List third-party search API.
Oh man, I want to hear all the issues.
There's so many issues, Sunmage. So many issues. All of the issues. Thank you so much for the follow. So there was so many issues. But you can hear my rants about some of the issues with My Anime List if you go to the YouTube. youtube.wolfborg.com. I think it's like my featured video on the channel is my
welcome.
But also that video is years old, so I don't know if I would say the same things in the way that I said them these days. I feel like I would orientate my points better, but yeah. Anyway, and also I don't know the current state of My Anime List. I don't know the current state of My Anime List, by the way. I don't know the current state of how things are like over there these days. I just know they have an API now. So I integrated my script to use the Gcon API so that
I'm gonna watch that video and cancel you.
Oh, finally. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it. People have been trying for years over my takes over 86 and that one video I did on redo of Healer about how it was kind of garbage. And what was the other one that I did that people got mad at me for? Oh, people got mad at me for my RPG Maker one. The RPG Maker one I can kind of understand, though, because I feel like most of these people would not disagree with my main points. I just probably did not word them properly at the time. But this was also many years ago at this point, I think. I don't even remember how old. Anyways, we're okay, so Gcon is for if you do not...
When are you going to play Fortnite?
Right now.
What's with the response
I'll play right now.
.json into .dumps into .loads?
Okay, let me see if I can explain here.
I'll play Fortnite with you.
Oh, hold on.
Also, why are you still in Christmas attire?
I'm always in Christmas attire, Sun Mage, okay? It is Christmas every day here. Okay, this is our theme that we got going on here. We got Santa hats for
Always and
the
forever.
for the good subscribers. You got Santa hats like Andy has, and you got presents here. That's our theme. We are a Christmas scientist. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, what was the question about? Okay, anything related to G-Con search stuff?
It's me.
With the JSON dumps, this shit might all be redundant and have bad implements of like the JSON dump stuff.
Christmas isn't real.
Let me see how I set it up for. Let me see how I have it set up for the Christmas isn't real. Oh, well, you gotta explain that to a lot of people. You gotta explain that to a lot of people.
A friend is a Christmas skeleton. It's a great theme.
Oh hell yeah! Let's see, what do we got? We got the API query. Okay, so we can do .json and then loads into data. What was the point here? The point was to.
Oh chap, could I draw your mascot for a speed paint?
You absolutely can. Yes. For those of you who wish to do arts, we have a reference model for a future official version of the model that we are hopefully getting in the works this year. So you can check that out if you're interested. That's on. I know I posted it on the Twitter. I think I have that pinned on the Twitter. Anyways, let me get focused on this.
Are you dyslexic? You are so cool.
Am I dyslexic? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Okay, wait, hold on. Did I read something wrong? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?
It's backwards on the Discord link. LOL.
It's
or
backwards?
Something.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean it's backwards on the Discord
or
link?
Or not.
Wait, what?
Ha 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 ha.
The Discord link, so
I am losing it.
It's discord.wolfborg.com. Because I have subdomains set up for all of the. If you go to wolfborg.com, you can find my links to all the things. But if you go to a subdomain thing like discord.wolfborg.com or twitter.wolfborg.com or bsky, which is probably where you should more so go. Okay, bsky.wolfborg.com. All of these things, I probably have a subdomain set up for. I know we have vod.wolfborg.com set up. And if you go there, that goes to all my stream VODs. So, okay.
So do you know how to spell Wolfborg?
Yes.
Cool.
I do.
TKMRT Kako.
I don't know. TKMRT Kako? Wait, hold on. How did it try to say that? Wait, hold on. Wait.
TKMRT Kako.
T-Kako? My favorite streamer, T-Kako. Oh my god, it's the T-Kako maid.
TKMRT Kako. T-Kako.
T-Kako. Wait, can I do... Wait, what does pray do?
Wolfborg. TKMR pray.
TKMR pray. TKMR pray. Wait.
Diggish1 Pog.
Oh yeah, I kept saying Diggish1 for any time we do a Digi emote in here. So if you do like Diggish1 Pog, okay. Alright, you guys are... Let me code something real quick, okay? Do I gotta turn off TTS for a bit? I might potentially turn it off for a bit so I can actually speak through my thoughts.
You might.
I might.
Are you going to get hydrated? Seems
okay,
like I'm wasting my points here.
Fine. I'll drink.
Maybe.
I'll drink.
No.
I'm hydrated. Don't worry. I'm hydrated. Please. They waterboard me here on this stream. They hydrate me so much. I don't appreciate it. Why? You can't keep doing this to me.
Again.
Make it stop. Okay. We're going to pause the TTS for now, okay? We're going to pause the TTS. I appreciate you all being here.
Again.
We're going to pause it for now, so I can actually talk through some of this stuff real quick, okay? Again, you're not having me drink it again and again and again. No. Now, I muted the Chrome tab for a TTS. I don't know if OBS does a weird thing where it still plays the audio, though. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So we should be good. You have been silenced. You've been silenced, okay? Yeah, keep doing the stay hydrated redeems. You've been silenced. We're silencing the hydration. You were not waterboarding me today. Free me. Don't worry, I'm drinking water. Don't worry. Okay. Let me try and understand what I was doing with the JSON and then the loads and dumps. I don't, again, when it comes to the GCon stuff, I haven't worked on the actual GCon stuff in a while, but I have moved around the stuff when it comes to the MyAnimeList API stuff. Because as I was trying to explain, the GCon API... Hey, thanks so much for the follow, Thies21. Thanks so much. We are trying to... I set up the GCon API before for people who don't... Well, one was, at the time, MyAnimeList did not have an API that was workable. And two, MyAnimeList does have an API now, but GCon does not require you to have like a registered token thing for it. So you can still use that if you don't want to register for that. So that was why I had set up for that. I haven't worked on the GCon adjustments ever since I set up the adjustments for the MyAnimeList API, so they might be a little different. But your question was Karen's question. What's with the response.json into .dumps into .loads? Oh, hold on, wait, I have a thing. Oh, finally, okay. I've been trying to have the 20 terabyte thing back up something onto it, and I've been trying to have it confirm that that everything's fine. Okay, all right. I need to stop being distracted. Too many fucking things going on. Jesus Christ, guys. Oh my God. All right. We have here for the MyAnimeList API query, we get the headers, we do the requests. We have to do the API delay, which the API delay thing is annoying with them because they don't like to tell us what the delay is. But we get the response, we send it to .json, returns the JSON encoded content of the response, and then loads it specifically. Why did I do it like this? Dumps into loads. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was a reason why I did it like this. Why did I do it like this? We had the file. Because it's .json, so it should throw errors if it fails as JSON. If it doesn't, it should parse as proper JSON and not need to be reserialized and parsed. You're probably right. I'm trying to remember why I had set this up like this. It might have been like I had set it up in like an old way, and I just assumed I didn't want to fuck with it in a certain way. Why did I do it like this? You are right. Why did I do this? I'm trying to think if there's a reason why I did this.
You cannot contain me.
Oh my God! Wait, I completely forgot I had that text-to-speech. We have the Takumi TTS. I completely forgot we have the regular TTS. Because I'm so used to people using the Takumi TTS. Oh my God, I completely forgot I had that one. Are you a snowman? What's up with your head? It's a hat. It's a hat. You ever heard of a hat? It's a hat.
台座です。センテンス2です。ザグレートイコライザーイズザです。
Okay, why did I say... Hold on. Well, first of all, let me... Why am I not able to click my taskbar? Oh, there we go. Let me make sure that the current state of these things, I don't have things broken from the last time I was messing it up, or messing around with it. I'm pretty sure everything should still work fine. What was I doing here? Oh, I had moved that into like its own new query as opposed to being in there. And I had the unmapped cache and then that. Restart, whatever. Okay. Let's do this. Let me make sure I have the... I know I have an old command run of processing of the script. Let me... Oh no, I got too much other stuff. Okay. Let me do like an example thing here. We have... where's my... README? Just to make sure it's not broken. Wait. Oh, I think I already just had... Why did I do that? I already had it ready. What am I doing? Wolfborg. Anime. Wolfborg. Hello? Hello? Am I stupid? Oh, I don't actually have one on here. I have a manga one. I don't have one for me anymore in there. Let's do like Blue Robin. I'm pretty sure I did him ages ago, so his shit's still being here. Cache only. Make sure that everything still is actually working when I run this. Dyslexic mother... It didn't actually read that one. It's probably a good thing. Why do you keep calling me dyslexic? What did I do? What did I do? Okay, so this still works. And then, let me just make sure, if I do this adjustment, there's not something weird that breaks it. I can't imagine why I did this. Because you're right, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have to be like this. Why did I do this? You're in my comment about your hand wrong? When? Hold on. What are you talking about? What's up with your hand? Oh. My hand is just... That's the style that the artist did it in. It's just white. They like doing a lot of white and blue. I like their style. It's this is done by Soya Como, I believe is how you say their name. Yeah, Soya Como. This artist. They are very, very good. They are very, very good. Go check them out if you're interested in their work. Okay. All right, what do I have here? So, okay. Why did I... Okay. I must have done it for some older other reason, and I can't imagine why anymore. So it should just be just mal.json into this, right? Wait. Yeah, I can't... Why? I don't know why. Hold on. Is there another case where I did this? I did this here for Gcon, okay. And I did it here for this one. I don't know why I did, though. Okay. Alright, we'll just reset it and make sure it doesn't break things. It should just be literally this goes into that. Let me comment it out just in case. It should just go mal data equals blah. I don't know if I run it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I did it like that before. But you are absolutely right, Karen. I don't know why I did that. It must have been like an older reason why I had done that, and then eventually I upgraded it in a certain way, adjusted it in a certain way. I don't know. Good catch, though. Good catch. All right, so that, and then there was another place I did that too, right? The Gcon place, I know. Yeah, it should just be Gcon file. Wait, why did I do it here? Just do it out here, right? Because it's going to return false no matter what, right? Okay, so Gcon data equals, oh, it's going to be this. Okay. And that should be fine. And then the other place that I did this was here, which again, all I have to do is this. And then that should be fine. Okay. All right. Move this over here. God, this has slowly become a mess over time of things. From the newer editions of things that I've added onto it to try to make the process easier. Let's see. What do we have? Where's the... Am I stupid? I might be stupid. Where's the section that I was just... Where's the section that I commented it out from so I can delete it? Am I fucking stupid? I might be stupid. Hello? What? Oh. I already deleted it. Okay. I was like, where did it go? I already deleted it. That's why. I'm stupid. Okay. That part's still working. I think the last things I had implemented were... I was going to say here, I guess. Oh, I had it for the API. It does multiple... I was trying to get it to work to do multiple pages for how it checks for matches, which will not be something that will confirm when I do the cache only right now. But that should hopefully get us more automated matches easier. All right, so let me continue with the explanation, the general explanation of the core thing for the people who are here and want to help through the process. So, we have APIs now that we can use to try to do searches. We have to search based on a Anime Planet title. We have to do searches for an Anime Planet title because that's all we get is a title. The title is in English, and then we have to do that search through on the APIs to get a matching ID through MyAnimeList. Now, when it comes to anime, for people who know, you know that you cannot just go for like rough estimates of the name, because season 1s of things, season 2s of things, and differences with how different websites handle Japanese titles means you cannot just assume that a show is the same thing as it is on other sites unless they have literally the same exact title. And even then, with some cases, it might be a weirdness depending on how they title future remakes and such. So we have different levels to be able to determine these things. You have 1, the title being exact. 2, the year it was released. 3, the number of episodes. And you can also include other things like length of the episodes and studios, but those ones are harder to trust because different websites will list different studios in different orders, or some of them will only list certain studios and others won't. And you also can't depend on the duration because different sites will just have different listings for the duration. So you can't fully depend on them. But those are like the big markers for it. Now you can, as a human, you can also use this thing called your eyeballs to confirm that a cover looks like the correct one compared to another cover. You can, in fact, use your eyeballs to confirm this yourself. But that does not necessarily mean it is correct, because both of these sites have their data managed by, from what I understand, volunteers. I'm sorry, not AniList, MyAnimeList. Well, AniList probably is also run by volunteer people doing data stuff, but the data we're looking between is Anime Planet and MyAnimeList. This is MyAnimeList, this is Anime Planet. These are the two sites that we deal with. AniList is where we eventually want people who use the script to go, but we only get there by making a list that works for MyAnimePlanet, or MyAnimeList too. All the different fucking titles, okay? So, we got MAL, we got AP, and we got AL, okay? So, what I did was, okay, now we can just have the API do searches, and we find an exact match, boom, we have that for the conversion. Now, we obviously want to make this process faster in the future. So what I've done was I made cache files to when we find and confirm that a match is there, we know that this is the Anime Planet title, and this is the corresponding MyAnimeList ID. We store it here in the cache file. And then the next time we run the script, if we do cache only like I just did here, it will only search through the records that we have in our cache. And then it will tell us which ones we still need to confirm. Most of these will already be found for like some of these older ones, because we've processed a lot of them at this point. So all these are going to get found. All these will work for like these older lists. Now we do also have a list for caching titles that just won't work. And that's what the bad list is for. These are ones that just don't work for various reasons. Either MyAnimeList does not list it on their website, or they do, but it's an OVA that's split up differently than the other website is. And so if the data is transferred, it won't work right. It won't work right. So these are our known bad titles that just won't work during this process. Things like Rick and Morty, Samurai and Shogun, that's not going to work. Okay, Rick and Morty is not acknowledged by MyAnimeList, nor are any of the Castlevanias. These are not acknowledged by MyAnimeList. at least not at this time. And so they are on our known bad list. There are many music videos, such as Peace Sign, that are also not on my enemy list. Or at least they weren't at some point in the past. They may be now, but they're not anymore. Which is another thing I have to implement. I have to implement a way for it to automatically go in and check and confirm the current listings to make sure that they are still correct. But that's another thing that I'll deal with later. So, okay. So we have a way so that every single time we process a list, our method of processing the list gets faster, right? It gets faster because now we don't have to deal with the API search taking time, and we also don't have to deal with forcing an API delay, because we have to force API delays for Gcon. I think it has to be at least 4 seconds, and for Anime Planet, they don't tell you what the API delay has to be, but I think for my testing, it's roughly like 2 seconds per request. So you have to wait 2 seconds before you could do every request, which, you know, is fine because, again, we have the cache system, so we're going to be processing through things automatically very clearly and easily and quickly anyways. So that's all fine. That's all working well. We had a thing at some point the last time we streamed where we were like, okay, how do we make this faster, even easier to do? Because I don't want it to... Well, okay, there's a step I'm missing here. So this is for all the ones that we can automatically grab. We store them in the cache file. We store them in the bad file, the known bads. Automatically, we already have that set up through the APIs. But now, we also need a way for the ones that are not automatically matching. We have to have a way to confirm it. So that's where we get into the manual confirmation process. Now, I had set it up, and I believe I have it on here. I had set it up so that well, now it's updated, but essentially, when you get to an entry that is not automatically found, we'll take the top entries from the search, display them to the user on the command prompt, and then they can, if they can find an exact match between those, they can press a number to confirm it. And I guess I'll show it here. We've updated it since then, so now we have like a search queue thing, which makes it easier to process through. And it works like... this is if we skip confirm. So essentially it will just not... This is if you wanted to go through the mal API search of the remaining search. Essentially how it works now, the current state of this is, first you take a script, you run it through cache only. If there's nothing remaining, good, you're done. If there are things remaining, then you run it through the mal API of the search queue. Well, right now what happens is, anything remaining when you do cache only, we don't process the full list. We process everything that we were able to find, and we tell the user, hey, here's an export of the converted file of it so far. There are entries we found, or there are entries we were not able to match, so they will not be included with your import. You can import this file right now if you wish, or you can go through the remaining search queue and run it through either the API to see if it can manually confirm or automatically confirm these things, or you can go through and manually confirm these things, or a combination of both. Most likely it's a combination of both in many cases. So the next step would be you run it through the search queue. So let me determine which one is the current one that I'm supposed to be working on, the one that has like thousands and thousands of entries. And then I'll show you an example of where we still have things to work on here. Let me look at my emails to see the last person who emailed me about it. Oh, there's somebody else who emailed me about it recently who was telling me they were able to process it and they were sending me the cache file and remaining queue mapping stuff for me so that I can have it for my records, which is very helpful. Thank you to them. I know it was taking me... I told them I would do it, but then I kept working on this guy's list because he's got a shit ton, which is good data for us. But yeah, it's a lot. Was it this guy? Is it Lupo? Or is this the guy who... No, this is the guy who sent me the thing later on. So the guy whose list I processed here was... Is it Nice Life? I think it was Nice Life. And what was his list called? His list was... Fat Camp. That's who we're looking at. We're looking at Fat Camp. That's his name. I didn't call him that. Okay? That's what he called himself. He called himself that. Lupo D's nuts. Oh no. Oh no. In my goddamn chat? In my goddamn chat? Fat camp. Okay. We ran through cash only first. Okay, that's not true. That can't be true. There's not 58 entries there. That must be wrong. I must be looking at a different email. That must be a different person. That must be. There's no shot. That's not the person. Hold on. Let me find the person that we're supposed to be working on here. Oh, here we go. Robert Handsome. Emanity is him. That's it. Emanity. Here, run it. It's going to automatically go through. Boom. All right. So we got 8,000 total entries we got to process. Our cache system has been able to determine... Well, the cache system, I think, originally only found like 3,000 of them, and then I had to go through some processes of a lot of development recently to upgrade this to make it easier to process some of them so I don't have to manually confirm 4,000 goddamn things. And essentially, so we have 8,000 entries we have to process. 8,000 entries we have to convert and confirm. 6,900 of which are already all set. So we're basically have 7,000 of them done. We have 1,001 that we still have to process. So this is where we get into the mal API. Skip confirm is what we would run next. I'm not going to run the full thing, but I'll just run it briefly. This is where we're essentially running it through again. Only this time for entries that we do not... Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Now I have to do search queue. You do the mal API. The search queue is going to be the ones that we're still processing. And it will go through, and for each of them, it will do a mal API query. And I think the mal API hates me right now still, which is why this is hanging right now. No, wait. That's not supposed to happen. That makes me think something happened with the thing that we changed here. This thing. What happened? That's never something you want to hear programmers say. I go, well, first of all, let me just set it for this one. I think this one might be the... Where's this one called? This is called for the API store. Get mal data by API, yeah, get titles. Okay. Alright. Let me run it now that I put that back on, and we'll see how that goes. Oh no, it's probably broken again. So something about the JSON thing might have broken this. So it's specifically referencing line 383, saying entry node list indices must be integers or slices, not string. So it's not receiving the JSON as a JSON right now. It's receiving it as a string, I think. Is that what's happening here? Hold on. They asked you to remove the load-bearing coconut. The load-bearing coconut. Okay. Let me just make sure if I undo those, if things work. If things work after I undo those, then it was related to that. If they're still broken, then it was something else I was doing that's not related to that. Yeah, okay, so it's something else that's not related to that. Unless I didn't save. I'm pretty sure I just saved, though. There's probably something else that's not related to that. It was something that I was probably doing last time that I forgot to make sure was fully finished before I closed my program, because I probably got dragged away to do something else. Which is annoying. Okay, so we go to line 385, which should be right here. Entry ID. Mal. Oh, I remember. It's the pages. It was the pages. I was trying to add additional pages so that our matches could go and find even more data. That's what the problem was. I was trying to implement this thing, and this thing's not done yet. Perhaps your grandparents asking for tech help knowing you. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, we're having it go through like getting like 3 pages of the Mal API search, because each page of the API search gives you a link to the next segment of them. So you have to do like 3 of them. How was I setting up before, and why is this not working here? What is the issue that we're having here? Well, read 5. So this is having an issue because node is not going to be a thing as like an entry. This is not, entry node is not being seen as like a key there, so this is not being seen. I mean, I could test just print entry, and then it'll tell me, right? Let's go. Process. Let's go. I mean, it's returning it. So, okay. So I'm trying to get entry node, which, yeah, that's there. What's the problem? Is there... Oh, for each... I'm sorry. Because I'm doing the pages, there's now multiple entry pages. And so... This is for each entry in mal entries. The mal entries are not being combined properly. That's what the problem is here. These are all supposed to be in a way for it to just go through each of these. And it's not, because these are... No, it should be... Wait, hold on. No, it's printing for each of them, right? For each entry? This should be... Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I can't spell. This should... What the fuck is the problem? I got this. Yeah, it's... Okay, so it is. It's printing this, and then do it... Ah! Just like that. Is it... Ah! So it is doing it for each of these things. So that's not the problem. So, okay. Our error message is... List indices must be integers or slices, not string. Is this not... Oh, wait, the ending one. The last one, I think. Why is this like that? Is this supposed to be like that? Wait. This last one is ending as a list, but the other ones are not. That would be why. Okay, so what is the last one? Is the last one like an ending page thing? Probably, actually. Oh yeah, because I'm appending the page data at the end. Okay, let me just get rid of this real quick. And run it and make sure we actually work. If I get rid of that, and then I'll know for sure that that is the issue. And I'll fix that later. Or fix it now. Oh. I have to wrap my head around how I set up the pages again to do that, though. Yeah, okay, so this is working again. So it's just the fact that I appended the page information at the end improperly, and that's what did that. Is Marvel Rivals actually good, or is it just trending because of new game hype? It is trending because it is decent. It is decently, like, it's a decent game. Very popular IPs, and it's probably better than Overwatch. So that crowd is probably moving towards that. The current state of Overwatch, at least. I personally don't think I'm a fan of Marvel Rivals because of... Well, one, it breaks my fucking computer system every time I try to do things with it. it is probably the worst optimized PC experience, but you can just play it on consoles as well. So I think based on my experience and then looking online and seeing that other people are also experiencing issues with it, in the same various crazy ways that I am, then it's probably just also not a good optimized PC experience right now in its current state. But I don't know, maybe it's just my shit's fucked. I don't know. Gameplay wise though, I think I liked some of the characters, but overall the game was kind of too slow compared to something like Overwatch for me. It felt like very for me. It's fine, but I was not impressed either. I was not impressed. I just don't like Marvel TBH. I'm not like a Marvel hater. I don't really like the newer movies for the most part anymore, but yeah, that's whatever. Man, I found out that apparently the Indie Jones game requires a certain ray tracing compatible graphics card or something, and IDK if I have the hardware to play it, sob. Yeah, it happens. I don't either, but a lot of my friends are... Oh, that reminds me, I've been considering getting a new motherboard and CPU that I've had in my like Amazon cart for a while. I'm just kind of... I don't know why I'm waiting to get it. I think I'm waiting to get it not because of the money. I'm waiting to buy them because I don't feel like fucking taking apart my PC again so soon. I don't feel like taking it apart again and doing a million fucking things with it after I moved everything out of the old case and into the new case recently. And I kind of just don't feel like moving everything around yet. So I just haven't ordered it yet. Can you have my old ones? No. My old ones are being kept for future purposes. Marvel board games. Can I have your whole PC? You just start from scratch? Yeah, I'll send it right over. You can just have the current one, yeah. It's gonna sell them on eBay for thousands of dollars to crypto miners? Oh boy. Alright, let me cancel this. I don't know why I was sitting there waiting for it to just go through its whole process. We don't actually have to do that. So, alright, so I know this works. Let me see if I fix the page thing real quick. If it's gonna take me too long, I'm not gonna bother with it, because this isn't even the main point of us being here. Although this was a process that was gonna make the requests a lot faster. Or not, it's gonna make the automatic process easier, not faster, but it's still gonna be about the same, I think. Okay, so more mal pages. So for each page in the more mal pages, more mouse bytes, we do page data equals page data, and then mal entries dot append page data. When I do that, it's gonna get mad at me when I print it, but if I do, what do? We print like the last entry. Print mal entries. What is it? -1? Do you do that and then that prints the last entry, or was it like? Fuck, I forget. God damn it! I always forget this stupid fucking Python syntax. I'm gonna try this and then it'll yell at me probably. I just wanted to see the Xenomorph in VR. Also, in the PC compatibility note... Okay, wait, hold on. 1 second. Okay, so... More mal pages. 4 page in more mal page. Wait, hold on. Length... more mal pages. I think I might just be setting that up wrong. What is the length of it? I might just be getting the number of entries, like combining them up there wrong. Let's see.
Ooh,
Ooh, woo. 4. So this is 4 entries. So 4 whole additional pages, I think, of other data. Okay. So Thank you, Miku. I completely forgot about Miku. It's been a while since we had her show up here to the Wolfborg streams. Okay, this... goes to here. Okay. So what is happening here? Okay, so let me trace back here. So, alright, so we want to get the API get more pages. We give it the mal data. The mal data will have for us the current data has the paging next. It's got that information, so it tells us what the next page is. So if the current depth is greater than the page length, or page limit, which we have set to 3 by default, so we'll go through 3 pages. So once we get to that point, we return the total data. And then we go through the next page URL, so we get the next page. We do the API query for what the next page is. And then we append whatever that next page data is to here. Okay. I think immediately the problem is we need to append for each of the entries within this. We append each of them to total data, I think. I think that should make sense. We append each of them here. So let's say for now, how it currently runs, we append the full results of this query. So it's going to give us the full page of the next thing. And then we go to total data dot append on to the end of there. And then current depth plus equals 1. And then we do the next page. So we go passing in the next page data as the starting point. And then that's going to have the paging in next on there. We technically don't need to pass the whole thing. I don't think we could just pass in this, which I probably should be doing that. But this is how I had set it up in before, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably just adjust that to do that, but yeah, okay, so then let me just make sure this is working too, though. So, okay, so that's probably just it. Let me just try this. So, next page data. So, for page data in next page data, page data, we just append. And then here, it will, hopefully, everything will just work. Hopefully, everything will just work now. Watch. Watch it work. It's not working. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to... Yeah. Page data is not there. Okay, so that's probably an area that I have to adjust. Okay. 382, so it's right here. For page in more mal pages. Page data, page data. String indices must be integers, not string. But it's a different one here. It's different area where this is happening because of this. Before it was happening down here. We're not even getting to there anymore. Because before... Okay, so for here... For page in more mal pages... Page data, mal append. No, I think now... Hold on, now I think it's just... We're just overriding mal data with total data. I don't know why I did it like this before. We're just supposed to be overriding mal data with this now, I think. This is your homework? No, I have my degree. I'm done. I'm done with that shit. This is your personal project stuff. Let me... Wait a second. How are you playing a Dragonlance campaign but aren't familiar with the D&D 5e rules? What? You don't have to play Dragonlance in D&D 5e. What do you mean? Wait. What? Why do you think you have to play Dragonlance in 5e? because I said so. You absolutely don't. What if I told you you don't have to play, like, any Dragonlance thing? You could play Dragonlance in any edition of fucking... Did you know you can just theme things around stuff? Did you know that? Do you know that? Dual Bacon says no talk back, no back talk. Bro, what is going on here? Who? I don't know anything. Oh. Listen, I ran a whole campaign of Umineko Cthulhu, so anything can happen. Anything's possible. You just make your own rules. That's true. You can. You're allowed. I will allow it, actually. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm supposed to ping people in my server. I'm supposed to ping in the server to let people know that I'm streaming. That's the thing that you're supposed to do. I didn't do that, actually. Hold on. Why didn't I do that? You guys are just distracting me all sorts today. This is all fucked up and evil. You're not supposed to do that like this. I blame you guys specifically. I didn't put the stream. There you go. I put the stream now. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop blame shifting. It's not going to work, gaslighter. God, who are you? I got my own rules where a 69 on a D1000 is just explodes your balls. It's pretty intense as most random modifiers make it easier for it to happen despite it being incredibly difficult otherwise. Still got consistent 5 views. Hey, I mean, I'm grateful for it. Happy to have you guys here. Not very girl boss. Let us out. Turn on TTS. Long story short, I'm trying to design an alien campaign and wanted to get help from Chap, but he's not familiar with 5e, so I'm standing here like, now what? Well, that obviously means you gotta design it all based on, you gotta design it based on, fucking, what is it? You gotta design it all based on Call Cthulhu. Some why are you DMing me pregnant emojis now? Pregnant man emojis now? What is this? What is this? Okay, let's see here. Like the DMs. And then rename it Hatsune Mikthulu. Alright. For each page in Mal more pages. Page data, page data. For some reason it doesn't like this. So let's print. Print page. And we'll see why it doesn't like that. Oh. It just says data. You see, right? It just says data, nothing else. It's just data. It just says data. What has happened? What? You know what? I think I understand where things are going wrong here. And I'm an idiot for not having understood this ahead of time. Actually, no, wait, I don't. Wait, why would it only say data? Wait. We'll go through this. This would imply that this has nothing to start. But that's not true. I know it's not true. Man, of course, he turns off TTS the night where chat is the funniest. Bro, I am trying to not lose my mind and build a thing, okay? Let me cook. You guys can be funny. Do your thing, but I need it to not be losing my mind with TTS whispering in my ear every 5 seconds. I will lose my mind. I'll lose my goddamn mind. You agree to lose your mind when you decide to learn Python? Python's not hard. Python is pretty easy. No, we're going to be like macaroni. We're going to start learning COBOL right now. I'm actually going to start pulling up my old assembly projects. We're going to work on Pac-Man and assembly like I did in college. We're going to build Pac-Man and assembly. Yeah, Python is pretty straightforward. If I were to teach somebody programming, I would do it with Python. It's like pretty easy and straightforward. My college tried teaching us with Java at the time. I don't know why the fuck they taught us Java at the time. Java was like dying even then, but they taught us a lot of our courses through Java projects. I don't know why. They did teach us C++ and some other languages though, but I think the main one a lot of courses tried to do was like Java related projects. See, I don't have a mind, so every time I decide I want to do HTML programming, actually what I wish is I could drag and drop site aspects from a panel on the side and then turn it from WYSIWYG to code so I know how it's dividing everything. Let's just... Wolf, how to graduate. All you have to do is give a lot of money. You go to a school for like 4 years and then don't die. Andy right now is in the don't die stage. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Many don't survive. I should be doing my homework right now, actually, but talking with Sun and Macaroni is way more fun. Very difficult, I agree. Okay, alright. Mal API, get more pages. Mal data. Why would it only return data? There should be more than just data here. Okay, let me understand this right. Total data equals total data. And then in the end, when we're done, we return total data. So we start with the beginning mal data, go through all this, and then we return this in the end. So let me go through here. Technically speaking, actually, it should be something like this. And then I won't even need that technically. Technically, I wouldn't even need that.
Bitch.
What? What? What'd you go? What? Can't. What? What? You can't just be calling me that. Not only that, but I had Simon turn in late because I was watching Umineko last night instead of doing it. Just do everything. Just do everything all at once. Go watch that movie. That's a good movie. Okay. Mal entries, mal data. Oh, wait. 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 Mal data equals this. On entries, blah. Let's try that. The TTS rewards are super delayed. I can't do shit about it. That's the websites that those are run from. Complain to them, not me. Okay, so this is now not finding this. Print, mal, data. This isn't even what I wanted to do, okay? I wanted to build an API. Now I gotta fix everything first. Dude, this is giving us nothing. We're getting nothing back now. Why are we getting literally nothing back now? What has happened to cause this? Obviously something about the API page thing is just overriding all of our data. Because that's not what's supposed to happen there. Mal API get more pages. We pass it in the mal data to start. And in the end, we're going to be giving back total data. Total data. So now to start, total data is nothing. Oh. So should total data be the same as mal data to start? Let me just run through the logic here. We have mal data, which is our current MyAnimeList data that we get from the API. Then we go into here. The current depth is not greater than the page limit, so we continue. We get the next page for the API data. We get the link to the next page. Then we do the query for the next page. That's what we get here. Then for the page data that's within there, we append each of the entries into here. Because down here we do for entry in mal entries, we get entry node. So for each of these, so okay, wait, hold on. For each 4-page data in this, we will for page data in next page data, I think that's what you do it as. Next page data. Let me try that. For page data, in next page data, we append to total data. Then, current depth, increase the depth, go into the next depth. And the depth, the point of the depth is to get us out of this eventually. We pass it in the next page data, which we don't need it to be next page data anymore. Oh, no, we do, because we want it in the end to return total data. So we need this as the starting bit. So we pass in the next page data. Next page data. So we don't want it to override total data at any point because then later on we do this. So total data is now the page data. Okay, so this is why we don't replace mal data with that because... Okay, so this is why we have to, for each of the entries, append later on. I see. All right. Okay, I understand that a little bit, I think, now. Mal entries is mal data. And then more data. We'll say more data. You pass in mal data for it. And then from here, we do for page data, or for entry. Yeah, we'll do a for entry in more data. More data, I guess. More data. Data. For that, we append mal entries dot append. Entry, not enry. Entry. And then if this is the correct key for this, then this should do what I'm thinking that it will do. All right, let's see here. It did not work. What has happened? Mal data paging. Paging is not there for it. Okay, so I think it's probably like... what did I have it set to before for this area? Oh, I actually don't know what I had set to before. I think it was... Fuck. Undo. Undo until we see it. No, it was that. It was that. That was what it was. It was mal entries equals mal data data. Data data data. Data data. It gets mad at me on 348. Oh, which is in the paging thing. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, so it gets mad at us here. Why does it get mad at us here? Print mal. Oh, I already have a thing for it. Print mal data. Just print it. And tell me what the problem is. This is chat neglect. He's not looking at the chat for 5 seconds while he's trying to code something. This is chat neglect. He's such an abusive fucking streamer. Oh, I'm gonna cry. That's what you sound like. That's you. Well, I want my TTS. I want to be able to send pregnant man emojis to Wolfborg's DMs and have him respond to all of them. Why? This is abuse. This is abuse. This is abuse. I'm reporting you to VPS, the Viewer Protective Services. He's literally just streaming his homework. I graduated years ago, but this is my homework. This is abuse, I tells ya. It's abuse. Never in my life has a streamer done this to me. The chat controls the streamer. He doesn't get to code shit. We get to code shit, and we don't know how to code. I've never HTML'd in my life. What's the problem with this here? Data. What's the problem with that? What's the problem with that? We print it here. Okay, so it's all within data then, right? Or otherwise it should be at the end. It should be at the very end. It's not. Wait, no, it should be. Wait, hold on. It should be here. Data. I think my problem is just when I print it like this, when it gets printed like this, it is not JSON formatted, so it's hard for me to read through it to try to find. We're looking for the link to the next page. Which should just be like a MyAnimeList thing. Most of these links are just links to the next image. Here, right here. Right here. This one, right here. But then it goes to another entry here. But it does this. Hold on. It does this now because we're in a new bit, I think. Hold on. Print. We'll scream. Oh. Trailing comma is the worst thing to have at a JSON. Looking for the hoochie mommies. Oh my god, what the fuck? The best part is that he can't tell us what he's doing because he's also confused. I can tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm fixing everything. You just don't understand, okay? I'm typing to debug my shit. This is what I do. Like, come on. Okay, so the first run, we have data here in the front, but then we no longer have data in the front anymore. Data is gone.
We don't
afterwards.
care. Read our messages and stop neglecting us loudly, crying loudly, crying.
Crying loudly, crying loudly, crying loudly, crying loudly, crying loudly, crying loudly. We don't care. Read our message. Please, respond to my pregnant man emojis. Please, respond to my meme DM. It's a skeleton driving a motorcycle that says, "Why, yes, officer, I am under the influence of our good Lord Jesus." Please respond to that. It is very integral to the plot of the stream that you respond to this. It is very important. Did you know? Did you know that he is under the influence of our good Lord Jesus? Please. Why won't you read? Please. 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 Okay, so what happened with the data? Data's not there anymore. And more importantly, the paging of the next page is no longer there anymore, too. So the reason why is because we get mal data, which is everything, and then we go into the next page, and then we go into next page data, mal API query, next page URL. So we're giving it the next page URL, which we should have. We have it for the first one. We don't have it for the second one, for reasons that I don't understand. And then we do the mal query. Oh, it's because we're returning the data here. I understand. I understand everything now. It's fine. Next page. Response. And then next page data will be this. Okay. Now, we do have to go through the page data like this and append it into our total data. Oh, wait, but that's a problem. Wait. Our total data is not going to have anything. Okay, yeah, because mal data is not going to be overridden immediately. So, okay, all right, so this is fine. We're just going to be appending each entry that we find from the pages into our total data here. That's not the point. Okay, it was fun bullying you. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll pour one out for the homies. Isn't the weather so nice? Thank you so much for stopping by. Have fun. Safe travels. Yeah, don't die. Try not to die. The best part of COBOL is that decimals are implied and not actually stored in files, and therefore is super compact data, because every number between 0 to 15 is a 4-bit int. Interesting. Interesting. COBOL is shit that's like used in like bank business systems, right? Or is that something else I'm thinking of? What is COBOL typically used in these days? From what I understand, it's like things that are incorporated into old systems, and so people learn COBOL get jobs because those are just baked into those, and they're not updating those anytime soon. So, yeah, banking and finance, okay. Okay, MS for you. No, don't do that. That's the opposite of what I said. I said don't die. You're not supposed to die. So don't do that. Let's not. Because you have a 99.99999% uptime for greater than $50 million monthly transaction servers. Yeah, keep yourself safe. Oh, true. True. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the next page response is this. We're adding in the data here. The data goes into here. We then pass in the data through this, not this response. Wait, but we need the next page information from it. Okay, the way I set this up was not going to work out, I think. Because we need the paging URL to travel through this. What is the next page? Boom. What is the next page? Boom. And then return. So let's do like... next page URL. But we need the current data. No, we just pass it in. Yeah, that's fine. And then we pass in the next page URL, so that's already going to be fine. Okay. We do the query based on the next page data. We get the data. We add it into total data. And then we go on from there. All right, so hold on. For this, though, right here, we do need to get next page URL to start it off. Which is going to be... think within data? We'll find out when I try it. So we do next page URL, mal entries, blah. Actually, I don't think it will be in data. Maybe it'll just be in mal data. You do paging next, and then... okay. next page URL, and then we get the responding data towards the end, which we won't need to process through data anymore, because here, once we get to here, for each next page data, then we add in each entry into the total data, and then in the end we return total data. So this should be fine. How else do you think finance companies and people want to crunch 400,000 accounts of data for stock options of literally millions of ranges for the best option, buy, sell, and doing it every second? JavaScript? Huh. Not a fat chance. I think they should do it all in Perl. That's what I think it should all be built in. I think we should code all of our everything in Perl. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Everything. All at once, too. Everything all at once. Oh my god. Okay, so we have... Why am I looking here? I don't need to look in the mouse search. Because this here. So we do the next page URL. We pass it in to get more pages. This is the more data. And then for each of the data, we add it into the entries. Here, we go through the page data. We start with the next page URL. The response. Grab the data. Go through each of the page data entries. And then add them to the appending thing. And then, there we go. Let's check it. Mal request failed plus URL. What? So the URL didn't work at a certain point. So we printed out... What the fuck? Invalid schema. What? Print. Print. Next page URL. Oh, we're not getting the next one here. The next page URL now has to be next page response. Yeah, I had to grab that. I don't know why I deleted that entry before. We need this every single time. Paging next. We need this every single time. Otherwise, where are we going to go from there? Not going to go anywhere. Not going to go far. All right, so here is where we realize that it's probably you got to grab from response and not from there, probably. So we do, in fact, get the URL, though. We get the URL from this one down here, which is interesting, though, because this one grabs it from... Oh, it does grab it from data, not the data export. Okay, that's the part that confuses me. I don't know why I labeled it like that. Again, I gotta go through and clean up everything about how this script is set up later. Right now, I just want to get to work for the way for me to process things properly. And then I'll fix a lot of the back-end stuff. I like concatenate. Okay, what happened here? Okay, it's giving us the error again. Mal data. Here. Next page response dot keys. How do I get keys? Dict keys. Next page response dot dict. Dude, how do you print fucking... It's just the dot keys method, right? It's just keys. Yeah, it's just dot keys. It's just dot keys. And this will tell me if this is correct for here. It will tell me this. I can even do it up here too. We'll say... Oh, I'm sorry, wait. We'll put it down here. And then we'll put it also down here to make sure that this is correct too. Mal data. Okay. Yeah, so we have data and then we have paging. These are the two things that we have. And then we have the same two things here. Data and paging. What is printing here, though? Wait. So, okay, so here we print out this first. That's what these are. Okay. So just from the response, we have data and paging. Paging is what we need to look at. So we do paging next. Well, that's where we get the URL. Then we pass it into here. Then we go into here. We have the URL. We do that as the mal API query. And we get the response. The response should also give us data. And we get all this. Response is going to have paging and next. And then we also have data. And then this is where when we print... This is key. What is printing? What is all this? Where's all this getting printed from? Because we just print next page URL. Next page, response paging next. That's just supposed to be a URL. It's supposed to be this. That's all it's supposed to be. Because this prints out this at first. So this is the one from outside of the paging function. Then this is the starting show us the URL that we're about to do the query for. We have our We're showing us our keys afterwards from the response, so we know that the first one worked. Then we update the next page response to be paging next. We know paging exists, which means next should also be in there. This is printing all of this, though, afterwards, which implies that this is the next page URL. But that can't be right. That can't be right. That's the implication, though, right? Because we show all this, and we do again. But how? So, okay, let's test it, right? Print next page response paging. Just print the whole thing. Why would it be doing that? Yeah, because there's a previous tag, but then we jump to the next tag. The next one is the one that we want, which there is a next one. Wait, but previous here, so previous has this, and then next is right here. Next is all we care about. So we're printing paging, and then we specifically want next. Oh, you know, I'm an idiot. We're printing this. God, I'm an idiot. Why do I do this? Don't listen. I didn't update that thing down here where it said next page data. I don't know if I like streaming coding. I want to get more used to it. But I always get nervous about when I stream coding stuff because it's like, again, there'll be mistakes that we find. And people will show up that will be smarter than me about this stuff. I don't want to feel like a fucking idiot when it comes to this stuff. But it's a learning process. It works. Sweet. Okay, so now it works. And the process now includes multiple pages of the search terms in order to try to find an exact match here. Which, again, the process will take a while when it does this. Because for each and every API query that it does, we have to apply the delay, which means for each page that we add, it takes longer and longer for each thing to confirm. But technically speaking, in the future, when I run this, it should make it so that when I do the automated process of things, it'll be like more likely that I can get entries that work, I guess. I can also set the page limit smaller. I can make it like 2, I guess, instead of 3. And then it'll make it a little faster. So basically instead of just the first page of things, we can get multiple pages of responses. Each response should have like a 4-second delay with all of them. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Yeah, I mean, this is still not gonna find the things. You know, in the end, we learned I've implemented a feature that we likely don't need because if it doesn't find it in the first entry, if it doesn't find it in the first page of the search, it's probably not going to find it in the next page of the search. Probably. We'll just have it set to like 2 pages of search. Right now, what's the delay set to? I think the delay is supposed to be like 2 seconds. Yeah, it's 2 seconds per query. So it should take 4 seconds for each of these confirmations. Maybe longer if the API starts lagging. Now, how do I explain this? I have another thing set up to try to also make this faster. Oh, hold on. Wait, I'm skipping confirmation here. But why are these not being stored? These should be stored, which means we shouldn't have to wait. Hold on. Oh, I'm not. Oh, I remember. I remember now. I have a new flag that we can use. I have a new argument that we can use. Use mal store. So, mal API store. Here's the explanation. I got tired of having to wait all the time for every single wait for us of the mal API information. And so what I've done, and this is not stored on the repo, the results of it, for reasons. But we have a mouse store which keeps a JSON record of all of the data that we would get returned from our API stuff. So these are all, the names are all just the mal ID. And so if it exists in here, we just don't do a query, and then it makes it way faster because we don't have to do queries anymore because we have that data. The downside of this is that, you know, if entries get updated, obviously the data on those are going to be not up to date, which is why I'll have to eventually develop a script to have it go through and double check the current state of those, which will be annoying. But for now, I have that set up, at least. So instead, if I do skip confirm and use mal store. Was it use mal store or the other one? Yeah, both of these are... Okay, I labeled these wrong. Automatically stores mal API entry for local use later. Uses stored mal API entries data. For faster processing. So if I do this, there's many that we won't even have to do searches for. However, I believe it will start adding entries in because now we have the new pages. Yeah, it's going to start adding in entries that it didn't seed before. Which is why it still has delays. I believe that's what's happening here. If I cancel it and I tell it to do no pages, which is something I have to account for. If we have no pages, then we return total data is blank, and then for each of those we append. Okay, so that's fine then. So we'll set the pages to 0. And then I can just set that as an argument in the future. This should just make it so that it doesn't even have to wait. But it is. Why is it waiting? Hello? Wait. Is my use mouse store check just not working? Why is that not working? There should not be a delay. Because these things should be stored. What is happening? Cache verify. Cache verify is a function I use to like go have it run through and verify the current cache. As in it would go through every single of our cache entries and then try to get the mal thing. This is how I was trying to get all this stuff. But I think that might be the only place I'm using it. Wait, use mal store. So cache verify. Use mal store. And where are we here? Same place. Use mouse store. And then use mouse store. Get mal data by ID. This one is a place where it would be used. And this is a part of mal API store. So it'll check to see if it has to store it. And get mal titles by ID, which is used by cache verify only. Okay. Okay, so essentially I've only actually implemented the use of the use mal store for cache verify. If use mal store, get mal store by ID, get titles. For each of our cache data, it goes through, use the mal store, get mal store data by ID, get titles, get mal titles by ID, if app title dot lower. Okay, yeah, that's all fine. So I just haven't actually implemented this somewhere else. I know, but I am. Wait, hold on. Use mal store, right? Because we haven't used not just here, but also in get mal data by ID. Is it really only used there and nowhere else? No, it's used in mal API store. So, okay, mal API store, when used, it'll get the cache data, it'll go through each of the things, it'll check by ID, mal data equals get mal data by ID, mal ID. If mal data, mal API JSON cache. And then print flush whatever. And we do time sleep because this is an API thing. Okay, I just must not have coded a thing to actually use it other than confirming the cache. And the cache verify does AP title cache info 0. And then mal ID. Guess we get the title and then the ID. And if we're using the mal store, else if we're using the mal API, and all that. We get the mal data and the titles. If there's a match, we're good. If args use store false. Okay, so essentially I have that API store, but we're not actually using it right now, I think. I think that's what's happening. Because if I do mal API store, okay, now because we have the additional pages, it's caching things as it goes through them. If I wait a bit, it should go through all of this page, and then we'll see it say, all right, couldn't find a match for that one. We'll check the next one, and then it'll start confirming for that one too. Or not? Wait, why would it be showing all of these? Hold on. Wait, why did it only... Wait, what just happened? Why did it only do that? Wait. refuses to elaborate, leaves. Wait, I know these things. What did what did Mal API Store do? Hold on. Mal API Store. Right here. Right here. When is this called? It's just called here. If I use this, if you use this, we ignore everything else. And Mal API Store does, it just checks our cache. And for each of the entries, if it's Mal Store check by ID, is it even used anywhere? Why did I even do that? Oh, because I was printing at some point. Now I don't. Okay. We go through, we check it. If it's there, we increase the count and continue. If it's not, we print it and we get the mal ID, and then we append it into the cache. We add it into the cache, and then we move on to the next one. So that's what mal API Store does. Mal API Store just goes through the entire cache, and anything that has not been added to our mal API Store yet, we cache it in. And yeah, so that's what that is. Cache verify specifically then goes through each of our cached entries by itself, all of our existing ones, and it's trying to confirm that the mappings are still correct with them. That the title still matches needs check +1. Okay, yeah. Because the cache verify, I think I could just run this. I could just run this. Yeah, I could just run this. Cache verify. Oh, I think the person who emailed me had also told me in the email that one of my mappings was wrong in the cache. For, what did they say? They said Kikaishi was incorrect. He said Kikaishi was incorrect. Somehow. Higurashi? What happened to Higurashi? Why is that being displayed here? Oh, if it's not in the list of the titles. If there's not an exact title match, we print it here. And then you can manually confirm if it looks correct or if the title is wildly different. That was the reason why I built this. Again, the wait times are taking a while. Because there's actually more entries that's checking in the background. And that's why this is taking a while. So we're not going to have to process all of them. Let me look up Kakaishi. What was the problem with that? We'll go to like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, yes, he's right. This is incorrect. This is manga. Here it is. Good catch. This is somewhere else, though. Oh, it's there. Okay. It's because there's another number afterwards. I see. All right, so that's good. Okay, so last time on Dragon Ball Z, I had added the paging and which I fixed now, so that works. But it kind of makes everything slow, so I don't know if I even want it. Wait, but I have page limit set to 0. If current depth is greater than... Oh, we should make it greater than or equal to page limit. And then it just won't do it. And then we'll be good. And it should go a little faster than last time. I'm assuming we're not seeing anything happen right now because it's processing ones and seeing that, oh, these ones are fine, these are fine, these are fine, these are fine. And then it's got like a 2-second delay between each thing. How's it going, Aztec? Hacker man, that's me. That's me. Okay, yeah, it goes all the way to the 15th entry. But it didn't feel like it was faster than the last time we ran it, though. I'm just trying to make sure it's not trying to do the paging thing anymore. I guess I could just do it by just having it print. I don't know. I see Yojo Senki in Future Diaries. Your program has good taste. This is where we're confirming through the cache which ones are not matches that it finds exactly for titles within its current system. It's like, this says Future Diary, but this says Mariah Nikki TV. Well, that's a little different. You should confirm if that's correct. And this is me confirming that it is correct. But it's why is it taking so long? It should not take this long. I can only assume it is because it's trying to process other ones in the background. So this is for Cache Verify. Cache Verify does the following. Where's Cache Verify? Cache Verify. You should download more RAM. I'm on it. I'm getting on it. So, alright, we get our cache data. Full cache size. Wait, is my thing done processing? Oh my god, it is. For that segment. And now I have to have it processed for another segment. And then we're good. Wait, I'll wait before I have it do that, I guess, maybe. No, I'll have it do it. Process. Transfer odd. Transfer URIC. Virtualization. Whoa, cheap viewers, get the fuck out of here. No one likes you. Perish. Sorry, we get our cache. We get the length of it. I'm a viewer and I'm told I'm pretty cheap. We ignore offset. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. We've never processed these earlier things before through this. I think. Oh, no, it doesn't have to process things through this. But, oh, alright, I remember. So, cache verify and then use mal store. That's what it was. So, every time it goes through it, then it will store it. That's what it was, I think. No such file or directory. Oh, because I just changed that one. Wait, what was Kakaishi's Enigma for? Kakaishi. Also, I need to check for that. I don't know why that error happened. Kakaishi's number was this before. We'll just update that. Mouse store. Oh, God. It's at 40347. 40347. .40347, and then we renumber this. Your ID is now... Oh, this is just all wrong. Sorry. This is just all wrong. I understand. So we delete this, move to recycle bin, and then when I run it, then it will grab this. I understand. Is that machine learning thing? No, this is just download everything and then search it later. It's not exactly, I guess, memorization. Okay, but now it's if it doesn't exist, you're supposed to just grab it. So why is this not happening? So line 1083 of my code. Line 1083. Get mouse store data by ID. We're supposed to get this. With open. Okay, so I would do try? Or is there like a way for me to have it pass the error? FBI, open up! Thank you, Aztec. How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? I'm just trying to code, and you're saying the FBI after me for downloading all of the MyAnimeList data. I only like expensive viewers that put me billions of IDR in debt. With open blah. As F data. Now how do I get it to... Do I just have to do try? Try. Accept. Return false. If we don't find it there, we return false. And this is called here. And it returns that. And then here as part of cache verify. I could just remove Kakaishi. And then if it gets added back later, it gets added back later. This is probably not the intended way I should be doing this, though. Because this goes here. If it's in there, we pass this back. And then from here, we go to here. Maldat. Okay. Again, many problems that I need to not be assuming certain things about the data in the future. But, again, none of this is actually even what we were intended to be doing today. These are just things I'm trying to fix in order to get things ready for us to do the thing that we're trying to do. Let me do this real quick, then. Here's what we're doing here, okay? Fuck all this. Fuck all this. Okay. Fuck all that. Alright. Then, we go into our mapped cache. And, say cache verify. I guess we just do mal API store? Is that what you do? Mal API store. Think. Yeah, and there we cache Kakaishi. Okay, we're good. And then Shonen Sunday CM Kakaishi gets added too. Alright, so then that's good. And then if I do cache verify, use mal store. It's going to go through and confirm. So all these printed entries are just the ones where the title, it did not find an exactly matching title. And then you as the user would just scroll through, I guess. Or like, I think you can have it print out the links too. And you would just go through and see that there's no obvious incorrect things. Because if you see a wildly incorrect thing, then you would know, okay, well, that's not what I'm looking for. But some of them are like less obvious, like Power of Hope, Pure Full Bloom. It's like, well, this is the title, but it's just really worded differently because it's got like the 23 in it and everything too. But yeah. And then this is for like... Is this specifically only doing it for this list? Or is it doing it for... Because it has 7,635. Maybe that's how many we have in the mouse store. $7,498 files. So that's not right. What has happened? Where do we get that number from? Is that just the number of entries in this person's list, perhaps? If I were to run his thing with cash only, like we did before, will it tell us this number? So 7635. 7635. That's what we're looking for here. No, theirs is like 8,000, I think. Yeah, it's 8,047. So I don't know where that number's come from, but whatever. Wait, how many? Oh, wait. How many do we have on the cash, actually? That's where it comes from. I see. That's where it comes from. All right. Okay. We have an understanding with those things. When I go to run skip confirm, we can also use mal store. Right now it's not actually using the mal store, but it should. Well, that's the thing I did not implement fully yet. We're not here to do that right now, though, okay? We're not here to do that right now, okay? First of all, we're here to build an API. This is why I said we were going to do at the beginning of the stream, which doesn't even require looking through all this stuff. We will be implementing it later. We're going to be building an API. This is the goal, and we're 2.5 hours in, now we get to do it. Don't worry. And I think I'm probably ending my stream at around 8 o'clock unless something else is coming up, so let's see how it goes. Give me 1 second here. One second here. Alright, so to do this, we're going to start a new Python project, because it's going to be a server separate from this, I guess, for now. So it's going to be a separate project entirely. So let's do the typical things that I'd have to do to set this up. So first of all, we'll go into a new folder. I'll do this on my other monitor in case there's things in my... I don't think there's anything in my Python folder that I wouldn't care if you guys saw, but just in case. Alright, we're going to do a new anitransfer API. We'll call it that. That sounds boring, though. Do I have a different name that I can use for it? No, we'll just go with it. anitransfer-API. That's what we'll call this thing. Maybe I should call it server. Whatever. We're going to go into it. We'll just start a new Git thing in there. cd anitransfer API. Git init. Okay. What's the git ignore I'm using here? Should I just use this? Oh, I guess I would do it for these things. New file. Text. Dot git ignore. This might appear on screen for a second, so give me 1 moment so that you do not see this in case other things are on there. Alright, you're good. Alright, we're good. Okay. All right, now I'm going to have this find our new folder. Open folder. Anitransfer API. Okay, cool. And then I'll open it over here as well. File. Add local repo. Choose Desktop, Python, anitransfer API. Add repo. And then switch over to it. I had assumed that it would do that. I was a fool for making that assumption. All right, and we're good now. Okay, now the other thing I still have to consider. I don't know with Python if it's better to use poetry for the virtual environment. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. Tavarian? I believe that's how you pronounce it. Let me know if I pronounce it wrong. Tavarian. Thank you for stopping by. So, I'm not sure if I prefer using the poetry, Python poetry for the virtual environments, or if I want to do like a new mini conda environment for everything. I kind of don't like, I think I prefer mini conda for a lot of things, but I also don't like using miniconda, making a whole miniconda environment for literally every single project. I don't think I want to deal with that for literally every single project. And there was a way to try to get it to do a miniconda thing within the project itself, so it's not just like all of my local environments or whatever, but every time I tried to do it, things were breaking my system, so I didn't get that to work. So I guess we'll probably just end up sticking with poetry. Which means we'll have to set up a poetry environment here. Poetry setup. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't remember the command you type for it. Pretty sure it's just like poetry in it or something like that. I have poetry installed still, so because poetry version. Okay. I already have poetry installed. Tell me how to have it set up a project. Poetry set up project. Or set up environment. Whatever. Basic usage. Right here. What do we got? Poetry new and then the name. Okay. Alright, so we do poetry new. Do I have to like physically write the name of the project, or do I write env? What did I do for the last one? Hold on. It'll say in... Oh, was it this? No, it's this? Okay, so I just physically named it after the project. Okay. So we'll name it Poetry New, anitransfer API. And this will set up our poetry environment here. Oh, it's doing this cringe thing where it's putting it within its own folder, too. I think I could just move them up out of that, though. I didn't need it to do its own folder. I already had the folder. What are you doing to me? Okay, open this. Reveal in File Explorer. And we'll move it. Wait, was this how it was set up last time? With like a tests and everything? I don't remember. Wait, hold on. I didn't have that shit in here. Is it just like new? None of that shit was in here before. Why is there init.py? Did they just give you like a default project setup now? What is this? None of these were in here before. Wait, it didn't even... Wait, did it not set up the virtual environment? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. What's happening here? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just supposed to do poetry in it. I'm sorry. That's why it did this. It did all of this, and it didn't have to because I did that. So hold on. Let me just delete all of these. Yes. 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 Clear. Poetry in it. It's poetry in it. Okay, and then from there, I would add the modules I need to use, and then we just do poetry run. Wait, do I have to do poetry install? Wait, how come? Let's do a new file. API.py, I guess we'll call it that. We can always rename it later. We are going to be doing, I think I had tried looking up what kind of framework we want to do for the API. I've worked with Flask stuff before. We don't need Flask because we're not going to also have this script give us the front-end website. I could build the front-end website in something else and then have it request through this API later, which is what I want to try to do. I want to try to do like a React thing later and see how that works with connecting to it. But for now, we're going to set this up to, I think it was Fast API for Python. Fast API. This thing, this meme, this boy. This dude. Okay, so I think we would do Fast API Python install. Because I know with poetry, you're probably just going to do poetry, add, and then this. But I just want to make sure I type Fast API itself. Fast API standard. Pip install Fast API standard. I forget if you're supposed to do like pip with poetry. Pretty sure you just do poetry add, and then it adds it. You do like poetry add Fast API. Creating our virtual environment here, and then we're going to add it in. I don't need this open anymore. This guy. There's a environment created. Do you want to select it for the workspace? Sure. You are selecting the wrong thing immediately. That is not the environment you're supposed to select. You're supposed to select that one. There you go. Where's our thing? Here it is. All right, so we have Fast API installed now. I don't know anything about Fast API. I have not looked into how you implement it yet. That's what we're going to do here today. As a family, we're going to learn about Fast API and how to use it. All right, so it seems we do from Fast API import Fast API. This is the first step example file that I have on my other monitor that they're telling me to do. App equals Fast API. And then at app.get. And then the slash. I just accidentally launched a terminal. I hate this. I hate accidentally launching a terminal here through that shit. Async def root. And then this. Turn message hello world. Now this says to then run fast API dev main.py. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do in poetry. Fast API. Poetry. Fast Poetry run fast API, maybe? Because I'd imagine do I just run, do I need to run it through the fast API command thing, or can I just run the Python script? This thing that I'm reading at is telling me to run fast API dev or whatever. Let's just try running it with the thing. So if I do poetry run python api.py, what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens when I do that. Okay. Poetry fast API. Let's check this. Starting your first fast API server with Poetry in less than 10 minutes. Okay, I do Poetry in it. Poetry add fast API. They also say to use UVI corn. I don't know what that is. It's a ASGI web server implementation of Python. Oh, so that's like a front end thing. I don't need that. Oh, they have the they have in their example the return message is hey, it's me, Goku. It's me, Goku. Hey, it's me. To activate the virtual env, remember to paste the code below in your terminal. Poetry shell. Now your application is running on blah. And the good news is fast API integrated with Swagger. The documentation is automatically generated. You can check it in the docs. Oh, this is not going to work right now because when I ran it, it just closed. Was this all he did? So VI Corn, okay, so no, so then VI Corn is the web server. You need that then. Right? Do you need that? Now your application is running on there. Because they just run UVI Corn. How to run fast API application from Poetry. I just want to, confirm. In your main.py inside my package folder, import UVI corn. Okay, so you do need UVI corn, I guess. I'll just add it in and see what it does and see if I have to take out this meme later. Launched with Poetry run start at root level. Oh, okay, so I just do Poetry run start, and then I'll do that. But I have to rename this probably to main.py. Which is fine. We can do that. We also have to import UVI corn. Poetry, add, was it UVI corn standard? That's what somebody else did, right? Let's do it. Okay. That's in there. And now we do Poetry run start. What? What? All it did was open up the command prompt. Because, that's the start command. That's what the start command does. Why did they... What? Oh. 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 So we need to add this into Poetry scripts. Like here. And then run it. What? Start is an entry point defined by project pyproject.toml, but it is not installed as a script. You may get improper assist. I agree with the support. The run uninstalled scripts will be removed in future release. Run poetry install to resolve and get rid of this message. So you do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Why did I do all that? I don't know how to do all that. That was because he did it. See, this is what happens when you just blindly copy code. You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. Why did I do that? No file found still for that? Wait. Main start. Right? Main start. Main.py start. Oh, right here. Why did I do that? No, I had done that because I thought they were running the same way that I was trying to do it. Oh. Yeah, no, hold on. Stop. I'm doing weird things to try and get this to work with this that probably don't need to happen. None of this probably needs to happen like this. Stop. Just stop. This thing says, make sure you create a virtual environment, activate it, and then install Fast API. So let's do this. This told me to do poetry shell before, right? We'll do that. Poetry run, Python. See, why did it stop? You're not supposed to stop. When you install with pip install Fast API standard, it comes with some... Okay, so wait. Which pip will happen right now? Okay, so pip install Fast API... No, it's already installed it. It shouldn't have to... We already have it installed. I shouldn't have to install it again. How can I install Fast API properly? Pip install only binary all Fast API all. What the fuck? CD path to your project. Environment. Activate. Whatever. I'm already in there. Pip install Fast API. I did that. Save your file and run it. Unicorn. I'm sorry. It's UVcorn. UVcorn main app reload. Okay, so they have it set up the way that I'm supposed to have it set up. It's just they're doing the UVI corn thing. And that's what's an issue, I think, here. Let me see here. Hold on. I do exit. I'm sorry. Exit. Which pip? Okay, so that's not going to do that. Okay, UVI corn. Poetry, UVI corn. And this will yell at me. Command does not exist. Okay. UVI corn. Poetry run UVI corn, maybe. There we go. Okay. All right. So this will work now. All right. So that is all I need to do. So you do UVI corn, main app reload. Yeah, because app is up there. So main app, and then what did it say? -- reload. There we go. This is what we needed. Okay, so UVI corn is like hosting the web server thing, and then Fast API is the actual API processing memes. So now if we go to here, we will have our hello world response. That is not what I copied. Thank you for playing. Then we get Hello World. It's very tiny, but we get our Hello World. Okay. So now that we've set up that, we know now that we can set up more requests. So this is a get for the main route. So essentially what we need now is given a JSON file, I don't know if we can have them send a whole JSON file through a query. But essentially, no. Essentially, the way the website process would work. Here's the general process for how the website would work. General process. User goes to website. Okay. User goes to website. They see a form. See a form to drop, or just see a place to see a area to drop file into, JSON file into specifically. They drop it in. Our server downloads and stores file. Yeah, we'll just say stores. Our server stores file and begins processing. And what we need to do through this process is, first of all, we run it through the run it through cache only process. If there are no entries, give them final converted file. We're done. Otherwise, store search queue and begin. Store search queue, inform users. Inform user. Begin manual confirmation process, which involves the following. The manual confirmation process involves, for each search queue, present user with options to confirm. If they find one, great. If not, great. Move on. If they find one, move on to the next. If they skip, that's fine. Okay. So they can. So there's a couple options they can do. They can options. They or things they can do. Things they can do. We want it to be so that they can. They go into here. And they. What is it? Okay, so they can confirm. They can confirm found or bad. They can confirm that it is a found entry or bad entry, or manual, or manually input an ID themselves, or skip, or end the process early. These are the things that they could do here at this point. We want the site so that, one, they do not need to make an account on this website. And two, okay, so other things. Yeah, so I'll make note. They do not, account not needed. And they can come back later to continue processing queue. These are the things that we want. These are the things that we want. Now, here's the thing with that, though. I have some concerns in my head when it comes to these things. So, okay, so I'm trying to think in my head. So, in general, the way that the reason why we have to have this API thing running, which, again, it doesn't even really need too much, I don't think, but maybe it will benefit from it. I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps the API search would just be easier implemented through this as opposed to through my other script that's trying to awkwardly, grab all these things and store them all within the itself or whatever. It'd be separated out so that script, if needed, can make API calls here to try to add entries in. So we could do get. So what is it? We have gets, we have puts, we have post. So okay. So with these things, they can basically do the mal API processing on their end and store information on its end of things, which can be then used later on. The point of the API is we do not want all of our cache data to be stored within the program itself, for one. We want it to be stored within this so that people can request the data, but we're not just giving it to everybody instantly, because I'm pretty sure that's probably not a good look for most of those places. They don't like that, probably. Right now, I think it's fine because it's just matching Anime Planet titles to my anime list IDs. I did have that other process that I showed you where I can just download all of the copies of what the mal API serves you. Anybody can do that, though. And that is not being tracked on my API or on my repo itself. So if somebody gets that repo, they're not getting all that information. That's something that you can run on your end, and anybody can do this. So that's not really... Pretty sure that's not really doing anything bad with that. I'm not a lawyer, though. Sue me. I just want to convert lists, okay? Now, so the reason why the API exists is for those reasons. And I want to get the experience messing with API stuff more so in general. Something that I can implement and host on my website potentially as its own thing for this whole web page by itself. And the fact that it has to process through a Python script and then use what that Python script returns to continue a continuing process. So we want the user to be able to continue on their own. But here's the issue that I'm still trying to juggle with. And I don't know if here's my thing. I don't trust the general user to manually confirm their shit. I don't trust them to be able to do it. Because this data is later on used on my end for things. I don't know if I trust them to manually confirm these things. So, okay, we do not trust other user confirmations by default. But we will accept them. What does this mean? This means I want to set this up so that users can go onto this website. They can put in their list from Anime Planet. It will process their list, and if there's entries that it does not find, we store that information on our server. And they can then continue on their end. So there's two copies of this in my head. One copy of this is given to the user for them to continue manually processing and confirming things on their end. The other copy is kept on our end. That's not officially confirmed to be a matching thing until later on by me, pretty much. Now, the user themselves, they can go through and they can manually confirm these things on their end to process things if they wish. If they do, every time they confirm things, when they confirm them, I would like a copy of that confirmation data, but I will not just blindly accept that this data is correct. I will take the data and store it in some other part of this server, but I will need to code something like I did already to go through and confirm that those are... See if I can automatically confirm that those are correct. If they are, good. If not, someone like me would go through and every now and then just look through them and see if there's no obvious incorrect things and manually confirm them like that. And through this process, we'll achieve a couple things. Users will be able to get their list processed, but not have to wait forever for me to be able to process things. They'll be able to more easily process it themselves and then move on with their day, and I'll make sure that the data is accurate on my end. And these are the reasons why we do this like this. Another reason we need the API thing for is, I think, their process with their list, and also having it go through the returning the options for the next step in what they're supposed to do. So essentially, you know, whereas here, if I ran it in my anitransfer script without the skip confirm, right? So if I go to Python anitransfer, here's what will happen normally. Hold on, wait. Why is it showing all this? Hold on. Things are happening that should not be happening. I don't know why they're happening like that. Let me end this real quick. This one will have all our information that we're looking for here. So instead of cache only, if I were to do a search queue, I just run it. Typically what it does... What? Wait, what? Oh, I'm in the wrong... Dumb. I'm dumb. Typically, it'll show you this for each of the entries. It'll say, okay, for this entry, this is the Anime Planet title, Aikatsu 4. Here's the top options that we found. Can you manually confirm for us if any of these titles are correct? Now, you can enter one of the numbers. You can manually enter an ID if you look up and know the My Anime List ID, if you confirm it yourself. You can mark it as bad, meaning this is an entry that will not work for this process. Or you can quit the program, or you can skip the entry. This is what we currently have. So now I will quit the program here to show an additional thing that we do with mal links. This will make it so that this also shows you links when you do this. Now there's another with mal data, I think. It is with mal info. It says it right there. With mal info. It did not show the info. It's supposed to, though. I don't know why it didn't. Interesting. I'll do it wrong and then it'll show me the options again. What? Hold on. Wait. Did I do something wrong here? Wait. Did with malinf somehow let it work? That's the incorrect thing. Why did that work? See, like here it tells me that these are incorrect. So, you know, do a different thing. Maybe just inferred that I meant with malinfo. You know, but with malinfo is supposed to be what it is. Oh, wait, but we're not doing mal API. Maybe that's why. Yeah, because it's going to be gcon API if I do it like that, I think. So you need the mal API and then with malinfo. Yeah, okay. So here it'll display the year it came out, the number of episodes, how long it is, how long each episode is, in the first studio. Oh, it's supposed to show it for Anime Planet too. This must be another option. Let's see, what's the other option? Num options, Mal API, open tabs. God, I really need to clean all this shit up. This is a mess. Why does it not show the... Oh, maybe it doesn't show... Oh, I remember. It doesn't show it because it's... You can't rely on it grabbing the info from there, I think. No, but I got it to show up before. Oh, you need selenium. You need selenium to run with that. That's the only way, I think, for it to grab that information for you. Which means it has to essentially run like another browser like this. I can make it headless, though, so then it doesn't actually show a physical page. But I think I showed the physical page because it usually helped. The options have gone away. I don't know... Oh, yes, this is true. The options have gone away because there are none of them that match the year and the number of episodes. If those don't match, we don't show them. Which I don't know if I like. But okay. So, alright. So, but you understand, though. Every time they do a choice, like if I choose the skip, then it shows me the next entry, and it will show me the next available options, of which, you know, there's not any here. That's fine. We go to the next one. Yeah, these are, again, still not showing options because of the matching issue, I think. I'll have to double check that. Oh, you know what? This was the next step, I think, with my whole paging thing. Maybe. Perhaps? No, it was not. Well, if it was stupid to think of. If I had added it so that it would check additional pages for Mal, like 3 more pages in the Mal search, to try to see if it could find more entries that match the year and number of episode counts, it's probably not helpful here, because if you don't find it in the first page, you're probably not going to find it in like the next 3 pages, I've now realized. Because typically, when the search goes wrong, it goes wrong not because of it's finding too many titles that are similar. That only really happens with shit like Precure. It happens because the title is weird and you are not getting like any entries. Pretty much. So I'll have to adjust the check so it doesn't bother removing all of them. Or if it does remove all of them like here, then we just assume it can't be found and tell the user to figure it out from Mal, I guess. They have to just try to search it themselves, or just accept that's not there, perhaps? If I keep going... You know, mama... Oh, wait, no, that one had it. That one had... Okay, so here's some options here. Yaomushi Pedal Movie. The movie. So, we have 2 things here. Yaomushi Pedal Movie and Yaomushi Pedal Re-Road. Notice, we cannot just assume that just because the year and the number of episodes match, or even that the runtime and the studio match, you cannot assume that they are the same entry. This is where the problem with the process that you have to go through here happens. You have to be able to manually confirm the time, because here the difference is the movie and movie. It just doesn't have the. But because entries like this, they came out in the same year and have the same number of episodes, they would technically, if I were to have my script just auto-pick the first thing it says that matches that, even if we did somehow include the studio, and the studio is included here probably, which here it's not. Here they're listed second, whereas on Mal they're listed first. Even if I did account for these factors, the title still won't match. And if you have weird cases like this where it came out in the same exact year, it's not going to work. And for places like Anime Planet, all they give you is the year. Sometimes they give you like the season it was released, but most of the time it's just the year. So you can't do shit with that. Can't do shit. So this is where people just have to go through and they have to manually confirm, like, yes, it is number 1. And you can also open it up like this, and manually confirm with your eyeballs if you wish. that yes, this is the Yaomushi Pedal movie. Yeah. The cover, you can usually tell by the cover. If the cover's the same, that's usually a good indicator. But you have to double check the other information too. And then you're like, okay, it's gotta be that one. And then you hit 1. And you move on to the next one. And so this process has to be moved from happening in this terminal to happening on a web page. It has to move to there instead. And this is where I have it do the process that we want, where we want the web page itself to react to the user inserting the script or their list. And if it doesn't find all of the entries, as in there's a couple that just needs manual confirmation on, we will add them to our search queue, our general search queue, but then also give them a local search queue that they can then go through and manually do confirmations for. And then we'll take their data from their manual confirmations if they do them, and then we'll look through them later on to be able to confirm if we agree with their manual confirmations of these things, which most of the time we probably will, but I don't want to trust random people to fuck with my mappings of things. And then from there, we can just continue to use our thing. So our API will essentially be a way to go through this conversion process a lot more easily, without needing people to download our script, understand how Python works, root out the mal API, get themselves like a token for that, and then also start copying a shit ton of their data, or just downloading data from us, because we don't want them to just download my anime list API data from us. We just want to build the API, have it store in all this data, and then we would be able to get that information through our systems through that. So this is where our next step comes into play. Our next step comes in with, we have over on our other project there, the anitransfer project, we have all of this already. We have 2 things of data that we have here. We have the mal store, which is all of our JSON files of our searches for these entries, right? So we have all the my anime list information that we've searched in the past. And then here on the mappings, we have our mappings of Anime Planet to My Anime List. Just an ignorant thought. So how about having the URL of the cover of, say, the similar movie to check the duplicates of that, such a case doesn't happen? Sorry if I interrupted, just my thoughts on this. Let me see if I understand what you're saying. How about having the URL of the cover of the similar movie to check for duplicates? So you can't depend, so you can go onto page and try to look at what the cover is, and you can even script something to try to check and confirm if the covers are the same. None of this will give you a full confidence through programs to know that these will match, I think. So like you can't, so hold on. Oh wait, you're saying the cover of the similar movie to check for, so the covers, let me check the covers here. How they name the file. Yeah, they just name it the title. Wait, what is this then? Is this the entry number? Or is this just a file number? Fucking web peas. Will it still work if I go to here? It still works if I go to here. There's nothing interesting. I was trying to think for a second because they don't have a working API, so I don't actually know what ID numbers they use for their titles on here. For Anime Planet. My Anime List does everything based on their IDs. But anyways, I can't have like a program just try to check for if this cover looks exactly the same as this cover, because in many cases they will be similar, but some of these sites edit them and take out details or leave in details, or they update them every time a newer visual comes out, whereas others don't. And in other cases, they just put the incorrect ones because these are user operated. When it comes to the matching information thing, I can't have it go based on if the year is correct and the episode count is correct then this is the match, because apparently that, won't always work proper. I figured out when I tried running this, because I tried running this on larger scale, where I tried to have it be like, the main factors I do when I go in and I try to manually confirm that something is the same here, is I try to go in and I try to say, okay, the search did not match the title, so I'm not going to be able to say that the titles are exactly the same, but some of them, they're similar. Like in that last one we saw, let me hit enter until we get another case that we can look at here. Okay, so here it's just asking us, okay, Aru he, and then Ino. So the reason why this one didn't catch is because of the colon, but we cannot just assume, because it's anime titles, we cannot just assume that the colon being there or not means that these are the same, because in cases like New Game, where season 1 has 1 exclamation mark and season 2 has 2 exclamation marks, you can't make these assumptions. Things like Gintama, they use like a apostrophe or a period or a degree symbol to indicate their different seasons, and that's it. So you can't just be ignoring the symbols. And in some cases, the slight differences in how the words are written will also dictate the differences in seasons or different OVAs or whatever. So you cannot go, if the titles don't exactly match in the main one or the alternate titles, then you do not have a match. You cannot automatically assume you have a match, I should say. Now, I tried to be like, okay, well, typically when I don't have a title match already, I can go in, I can tell with my eyes, okay, these are basically the same title, this is difference. But I can also just go onto the page too, and I can check how the page is to make sure that we are even remotely in the same ballpark here. Hold on, where is my... Was it this one? This one, yes. So this is the entry that it gave us. Notice that the cover is drastically different than this one. The duration... So the information it gave us came out in 2015. There's one episode. It's 11 minutes long. It was not able to grab the studio. Why was it not able to grab the studio? Because there's not one listed on here. Okay, that's fine. And then the type is OVA. Here we have... Oh, wait, does that one not list a thing either? Wait, that's weird. My anime list, like, always tries to list a studio. How do you not have a... Yeah, you have no, you have producers. Nobody lists a studio for you. Jesus. That's weird. This is a weird entry. Is this new? No, it's 2015. Okay, I guess just nobody felt like putting in the data for this one. That's fine. So yeah, the covers are different. But even if the episode length and year they came out are the same, that doesn't necessarily mean the dates are the same that they came out. Which, again, in many cases, Anime Planet doesn't store. They just store the year. And in some cases, they just get the information wrong, so they're just not going to match. And in other cases, I tried thinking, okay, if it's the same year and the same length of episodes, that's typically a good enough estimate for what it's supposed to be. In my mind, with the way I have this set up, if the number of episodes don't match, then this is a bad entry regardless. So the number of episodes are like a critical thing. If the number of episodes aren't correct, then even if we do technically find what the entry should be on my anime list, the number of episodes are now different. And so I don't know if we should trust it anymore. We still can. But typically the number of episodes should be the same. But my anime list is weird with how it does things. So I said to myself, okay, the year it came out and the episode number are pretty solid indicators, though. Pretty solid indicators of whether or not these are a match. Again, should not 100% confirm with that by itself. You should use these as guidelines for you to visually and like manually confirm these things. Now, we can set up a thing, and this will probably be the next step after I'm done setting up the API and internal, the front end facing website way for other people to use this tool. We can try to set up machine learning processes with this stuff. With all the data that we've gathered in the past, with all the mappings that we currently have, and all the, all the cases that we could try to implement some kind of machine learning method for it to try to give us a close enough estimate. And if it reaches a certain threshold of this estimate, it will just assume that this is correct. And if not, it will just leave it to me to manually confirm. All right, come to tell me the main goal here. Is it having solid integrity with this? So here's the main goal. Main goal is I have a script, which I already have set up, which takes somebody's Anime Planet export. These are anime database websites. They have their lists that they track of the number of episodes that they watch of all these series. And we're converting their Anime Planet export, which is a JSON file, we're converting it into an XML file for my anime list. The goal of which is not actually to import it to my anime list. The goal of which is to import it to AniList, which uses the same thing. But essentially, that's what we need. And so in order to do this, we have to match the title that we have here with a My Anime List ID number up here. These are the two important factors that we need. That's all we really need. So what I have here is I have an existing mapping of all these things that I've either automatically confirmed by the titles being exactly the same or manually confirmed myself. And so what we have here is the title and then the My Anime List ID. And then through all these, it makes it so that we don't have to do the My Anime List API every single time we do it and then process these things out. Essentially, what I need this API to do is handle requests for processing the conversions. So while the website itself can handle like, okay, you've given me the file, I will now process this. The API needs to run all of the Python code that I have set up to process it and then return back things towards the manual process that we need. So like returning them through each step of it. Okay, these are the things that you for this entry, this is what our system returned for what we found for it. Can you manually confirm if either of these are correct for their end of things? The main thing on my end with the API is also taking all of the data I have here and just making it so that it's accessible through that API, like these mappings here. So if somebody queries it with like this title, it'll spit out that's what that is, and we give that to that. And also we need it to confirm, well, some of these processes I can do outside of an API, I think. But I think the main reason why I was setting up as an API, and perhaps this is not correct for me to do, is that we have the front end sites, and then I already have my script built up in Python. I don't want to remake the whole fucking thing in like PHP or whatever. So I just want the API's goal to say, okay, somebody has sent me this request. This is the name of their file, which they've submitted to the website, which means we know that this is the file name that we have to process. And now we'll pass this in, and we'll process this through, and then we'll return to them a resulting, once we're done converting it, we return to them the response of the success, and then the file path for them to download their converted file, and then we pass that through there in the end, and then they download the converted file. And that's essentially like the meat of it, and then there's a lot of data stuff that happens in the background that most of the users don't really need. Or some people could have access to it, but the main thing with it is just making it so that it will be able to process their conversions through my already existing Python stuff. And I don't know if maybe there's a better way for me to just have it run the Python script through that, but I feel like this is probably what I want to do anyways. So, and essentially we got the Python, the API, we have a fast API thing that just says hello world. So that's something. Do I need to import this if I'm not actually running anything directly there? Because I can run it out here, right? Hold on. I'm in a wrong thing right now. If I quit the program, what the fuck? What did I just do? What did I just do? Stop. There we go. God damn it. Okay. And then what is this here? I was doing not this one. It was this. You do this. And if I go here, right now it just says hello world. I know it works now. Okay, so right now I would just essentially move my data. And then so I can move all these, like the cache and the bad and the unmapped. Unmapped is our search queue, essentially. And I would put those into the API or server, whatever you would call it. New folder. What did I call this before? Mappings? Let's call it like data. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not copy over proper. Can I like copy it like this and then just copy and paste it in like this? To the other one? Like this? This is, oh, I can do that. Okay, cool. Okay, so I have those in there, and then the other one was all the mal stores of our API searches in the past. Hey, thanks so much for the follow. Looks like proper work. Well, this looks like proper work. Thanks for letting me know some on this. Yeah, no problem. I have worked on this for years, and then had people reach out to me to like help them out with things, and it's a whole thing where it's like I'm trying to improve things so that I don't have to lose my mind whenever people ask me for weird requests with it. And I feel like I need to make it easier for people to be able to use in general, so that'd be nice. However, it is very unfortunate that most of the stream ended up being me fixing things with the old script and then working through some of our information. And I mean, we did build a working thing towards the end. We didn't get the whole data thing to go, but it is almost 8 o'clock, and I said I was going to end stream around 8 o'clock, and I just got the ping saying that we are doing the thing that we're doing at 8 o'clock, so we're going to be going to do that. So I will be heading out for tonight, I think. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to hang out. We've been going for 3.5 hours. We will be back this week. Probably will work more on this. I will work out some of the proper details of the steps I want to do next, and then we'll go through this process. I don't know if we'll meet tomorrow, but I do know here's the things I do know are going to happen this week. Thursday is book club. We're talking about Pluto volumes 2 and 3. No, 3 and 4. Volumes 3 and 4 of Pluto. Saturday, we're going to be watching the Azumanga Daioh anime in the book club chat of my Discord server. So if you want in on that, it's discord.wolfborg.com. And we're going to be watching, I think 6 episodes of Azumanga Daioh. We'll see how it goes. And I'll probably do like an art stream and a programming stream at some point this week, probably. We'll see how it goes. I got some stuff I want to do off stream, and I don't know if I'll have to take a night off or two to do it, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for coming to hang out. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, gamers. Stay safe. Goodbye.